is Peter Banks. Leeds United will be playing from right to left as we look. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. We're also live on the BBC Sounds app, and we'll be joined very, very soon by the World Service. It's the first of 7 commentaries. 5 Live, your home of the Premier League. 7 commentaries across our network. We do, of course, provide you with the alternative listening on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Sunderland-Bournemouth is on Sports Extra now from the Stadium of Light. But Manchester City, well, I'm sure that Pep Guardiola would want to see some sort of a response, because it's not very often that they have those back-to-back defeats. As we go back to Newbury and John.
Halfway here in drama beyond drama, the favourite Moortown has just fallen at the 10th fence when holding a slender lead. So now, with a circuit to go, the advantage is with 3-card brag ahead of the changing man and the recent Paddy Power Gold Cup winner, Panic Attack, in 3rd place.
We'll be back with you very, very soon, John. That is the Coral Gold Cup at Newbury. This is the Premier League on 5 Live as Gvardiol hits a ball out towards this side, taken on the chest very high up by Nunes, brings it under control, inside towards Bernardo Silva, back towards Nunes. Nunes enters the penalty area and Manchester City lead. That's the quickest goal of the Premier League season, and it is Phil Foden. Inside a minute, Manchester City, he wanted a response. Pep Guardiola has got it inside 60 seconds.
Yeah, what a start from Manchester City. And you can imagine Daniel Farke, the Leeds United manager, emphasising the need for his Leeds team to stay in the game. And with the first attack, Manchester City, quick switch of play, 1-2 on that right-hand side, and the ball from Nunes across. Foden 6 yards out, pops it in. Perfect start for Manchester City, and a great response after their defeat to Bayer Leverkusen in the week. Good finish from Foden, sharp finish. But that 1-2 all too easy. Nunes pulled it back and is left-footed on the volley from 6 yards off the underside of the bar and in.
Took it well, around knee height, opened up his left boot, in off the underside of the bar. Before today, Mbeumo was the fastest goal this season with a minute. We'll wait for the official timings, but my watch said that was 58 seconds when Manchester City took the lead, and Daniel Farke's team talk has gone right out of the window.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the worst possible start Leeds away form has been wretched. They come to a team like Manchester City at the Etihad. You know they need to win this game to stay in a title race themselves. That's a disastrous start.
West Bromwich Albion 0, Swansea City 1 is the latest score in the Championship. Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the table, still -4 points. They're leading Preston by a goal to 0, and a goal at the Riverside, Shojo Saka.
It's Derby who have taken the lead in the 2nd minute. Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1. Lars Jørgen Salvesen with a hook ball over his shoulder. Patrick Agyman really quickly onto it. Brilliant finish, low into the corner. Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1.
3 minutes played here at the Etihad. Daniel Farke, whose previous 2 visits with Norwich have ended in 5-0 defeats, hasn't got off to a good start. Now it's about the finish. It's the Coral Gold Cup at Newbury. John Hunt.
4 fences left to take here. Just to say that Inchhouse has been pulled up. Lowry's bar out of the race as well. But as they take the 4th last, it's still 3-card brag from the very consistent, the changing man in 2nd place. Panic Attack is still right there in 3rd position as they race now to the 3rd last. Katate Dory is trying to stay on with Gorgeous Tom, and Highland as well for Nicky Henderson, who was stunned by Constitution Hill's fall up at Newcastle earlier this afternoon. Highland's got half a chance. Over the 2nd last they go. Panic Attack has come to the front, bidding for Dan Skelton to land a famous, historic Paddy Power chase. Coral Gold Cup double in the space of a fortnight. Panic Attack's the leader at the last. A huge jump from the changing man in 2nd. 3-card brag next. Highland can do no more. Pick Rock is running on to pick up pieces maybe, but it's a stunning display again from Dan Skelton's mare, Panic Attack. 2 big races come in 2 weeks, almost unprecedented. Panic Attack, a brilliant winner from 3-card bag, the changing man, and back in 4th place races Gorgeous Tom, just ahead of Pickrock and Katate Dory. So Ian, Panic Attack for Dan Skelton. Don't forget, as well as Constitution Hill falling at Newcastle, Dan Starr, the new Lion, also fell in that race. So huge compensation for him this afternoon at Newbury.
Thank you, John. Panic Attack. It's the 2nd Panic Attack we've had of the afternoon. Leeds United had the first when they conceded early.
Yep, and Daniel Farke They concede again in the next couple of minutes. He'll be having his own panic attack, won't he? I think Leeds, it's a dangerous game if they press Manchester City high up the pitch. Manchester City will back themselves against anybody, but their build-up play is better than the opposition attack, and this could be a long afternoon for Leeds United.
We welcome listeners to the BBC World Service wherever you are in the world. Pleasure to have your company as always, where Manchester City are already leading Leeds United by a 1-0, with the fastest goal in the Premier League this season, courtesy of Phil Foden. Another goal. Naz Premji.
Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston North End 0. Harry Amass cut back. Charlie McNeil for the bottom side, curled it into the top corner. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston North End 0.
Remember, on Sports Extra, Sunderland against Bournemouth, Brentford against Burnley is the other game. We've then got commentary at 5:30 after Sports Report with Everton against Newcastle United. And two really intriguing games tomorrow as part of 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. West Ham Liverpool at 2:05 and Chelsea Arsenal, that top of the table clash at 4:30. As Manchester City, with a win, would move actually second. Doku in towards Haaland, couldn't control it, and Leeds United will bring it clear. Ampadu, and then the ball is passed by Gruev out towards this near side. James Justin back towards the Bulgarian. James Justin making his first start for Leeds United after they signed from Leicester City on a 4-year deal back in August. The ball then is clipped over towards that far side, and only now, 6 minutes into this game, are Leeds United starting to string some passes together and get a foothold.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the importance for Leeds, to try and get back in the game, to not panic from the early Manchester City goal and make some passes, try and create a little bit of confidence.
That's Chris Sutton, Premier League title winner, of course, who is with us. Here is Foden, early ball into the penalty area. Bernardo Silva couldn't control it. Goal at the Stadium of Light, Chris Coles.
A goal for Bournemouth, Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 1, scored by Amina Adli, his first for the club. Semenyo's ball across, Evan Nilsson hit the post, Adli tucked in the rebound. Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 1.
Let's get an update for the other game then in the Premier League. John Southall at Brentford.
6 minutes played, Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Quiet start to the game. Couple of Coyote long throws, a proper long throw, launches it into the area. Both cleared away. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Gonzalez tidying up in the midfield for Manchester City, helped out by O'Reilly. He's certainly done well when he was away with England duty earlier in the month for Thomas Tuchel after getting his senior debut. It's been a really terrific last few months for O'Reilly for both club and country, but Leeds United are in here. Dan James with a cutback behind Nonto in the penalty area, and the ball then is scooped away by Phil Foden, but Leeds United get it back. Tanaka lays it off, Bogle gets a barge from behind, and Leeds United get a direct free kick. I don't know, 25 yards out from goal right of centre. They trail by a 1-0 as Doncaster lead Peterborough 1-0, and it's Luton 0, Bolton 1.
That was half a chance, wasn't it, for Leeds United? Good play down that right-hand side, and the early cross from Daniel James just behind Wilfred Nonto.
Free kick then for Leeds, which Tanaka stands over. Manchester City have got every sky blue shirt back in and around their penalty area. Donnarumma in a garish pink outfit waits inside the 6-yard box. What can Leeds United conjure up here? Yet to test the Italian international. Tanaka lifts his left arm, right-footed, drops it into the penalty area. Strout with a downward header. Rodon will try and keep it alive. Back towards Nonto. Nonto running in field, has to pass the ball back towards Bogle, forward of the centre circle. He'll chip it now out to this near side where Dan James, there's a little boo there from a City supporter because of his Manchester United connections, tries to wriggle his way forward. The move breaks down and Manchester City should be able to clear. Goal in League Two at Chesterfield, Niall McCorn.
And it's gone the way of Ian Holloway's Swindon Town. Fullback Finlay Monroe stealing a march at the back post after a dangerous cross into the area. They know they can go back top of the league if they win, and Walsall fail to win. They have the early lead. Chesterfield 0, Swindon Town 1.
Yeah, Walsall the leaders there at home to Bromley. That is 0-0, but also in League Two, Colchester United are leading Cheltenham by a 0-0, and there's now been a goal at Carrow Road. Sahel Sahi.
A goal for Norwich. It's Norwich 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Came from a corner, was cleared away by the away side. It fell back to Marcondes, 7 yards away. He swept it home. Good start for Philip Clermont. Norwich 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
I wonder if your old side can hang on to that lead, Chris, after giving away an injury time equaliser
Why are you
against Oxford
smiling
in
when you're
midweek.
saying that?
I wasn't saying so. Opta incidentally say 59 seconds for the Foden
That's
goal.
what I thought. You said 58.
Yeah, but give or take a second or two. Ball played through them towards Metja. It is still the fastest goal in the Premier League this season. Let's get news of that goal for Bolton at Kenilworth Road. Mike Williams.
A deserved lead for the visitors here. Luton 0, Bolton 1. Kyle Dempsey on the turn inside the 6-yard box. Low call.
Back to Chesterfield, Niall McCorn.
It didn't take long for Chesterfield to drag themselves level. Fired in from inside the box by John Fleck after Swindon failed to clear a corner. They've levelled the game. Chesterfield 1, Swindon Town 1.
Didn't take Preston long to equalise either at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston 1 in the Championship, and in League 2, Shrewsbury lead Gillingham by a goal to nil. You're up to date, 5 Live. Here in the Premier League, also on World Service and the BBC Sounds app, we've been playing for 10.5 minutes. Manchester City lead by a goal to nil, thanks to Phil Foden, this man who has scored his 5th goal of the season. And he collects the ball about 6 yards in from the right touchline, strokes it left-footed, offside against Nunes. And it was Nunes as well, right in front of the assistant referee.
So careless there from Nunes out on that right-hand touchline, high up the pitch for Manchester City. He's looking across the line. I mean, that's schoolboy stuff to be caught offside in that situation.
Back it goes to Lucas Perry, all in orange, strikes it downfield. Metja with a downward header. Nonto tries to pick up the pieces, but Nunes will get there first. That was a nice cushion touch from Reinders, who then skips out of one challenge from Bogle and runs forward as Reinders, and he looks for the forward ball towards Haaland, but it'll run all the way through to the Leeds United goalkeeper. You won't be smiling much longer because Queen's Park Rangers have equalised at Carrow Road. Norwich 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. They didn't even have to wait until stoppage time to equalise.
That's because of you, isn't it? You Jonah'd.
Don't you start. West Bromwich Albion 0, Swansea 2 is the latest score in the Championship as well. Donnarumma, all in pink, actually takes no chances, puts the ball out of play for a throw, but in fact it was a free kick anyway. Another goal at Hillsborough. Let's get news of that Preston equaliser, Naz.
Yeah, it's from a corner. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston North End 1. Ben Whiteman, low drive, bottom left corner. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston North End 1.
What have you made then, Chris, of the opening 12 minutes?
Well, disappointing from a Leeds perspective, but you do feel that Leeds, the pace that they have up top, they can cause Manchester City problems with Manchester City's high line. That one ball in behind. I think City, they have looked vulnerable at times this season at the back. It was a careless pass from Phil Foden.
I think he might have been impeded for a late challenge from Grueff, and in the referee Peter Banks has indeed given a free kick to Manchester City. There's been a goal involving the leaders, Coventry and Charlton. Charlie Slater.
But it's struggling Charlton that are in front here at the CBS Arena. 12 minutes on the clock. Coventry couldn't clear their lines. It fell to Nibbs, who fired home from close range. Coventry 0, Charlton 1.
They've not had an easy week, haven't Charlton, with conceding a lot of goals, but they have had a number of injuries. They're getting players back, and Nathan Jones, I'm sure, will feel a little bit more confident after those 3 straight defeats where they've conceded 8 goals in their last 2. So Coventry City, who are 10 points clearer behind. However, Middlesbrough are 1-0 down at home to Derby, and earlier Stoke City were beaten 2-1 by Hull City. Wrexham 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Blackburn have won their last 3 matches away from home, and they are leading against Phil Parkinson's Wrexham. Manchester City now with Bernardo Silva. He walks his way in towards the centre circle and then bides his time before passing the ball out wide towards that far side. And O'Reilly will now run forward midway through the Leeds United half. The black shirts, though, back behind the ball for Leeds. Reinders now will take over along the ground towards Bernardo Silva, who in turn passes the ball to the right back, Nunes, back towards his fellow countryman. They combine for that opening goal inside the first 60 seconds. Burton Albion 0, Leyton Orient 1 is the latest score in League 1. Sheffield Wednesday are back in front in the Championship. They lead Preston by 2-1. Here is Bernardo Silva, short diagonal ball. Doku, central area, shows his strength. Looks for the ball in field to either Foden or Haaland. And Leeds United defending well. To credit Leeds, since they conceded early, they have restricted Manchester City to few opportunities.
Absolutely, they're trying to block those central areas off, and saying to Manchester City will let you have the ball out wide, but of course that's where the City goal came from.
Rotherham 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1 is the latest score in League One, and another goal at Sunderland. Chris Coles.
It's another goal for Bournemouth. They lead Sunderland 2-0, and what a goal this is from Tyler Adams. Not quite Kenny McLean, but it's not far off. From inside the centre circle, he sees goalkeeper Roos off his line, following a counter-attack, lifted over him. Brilliant goal. Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 2.
Well, don't forget you can see all the goals on the BBC iPlayer from 8 o'clock, but match the day tonight at 10:25 for extended highlights on BBC One. Free kick for Manchester City, just in from the touchline near side the right. Reinders to take it, in it comes now, headed out to the edge of the area, headed back by Bernardo Silva, and then that was a foul by O'Reilly, and it'll be a Leeds United free kick. Who's just had a chance at Brentford? John Southall.
Brentford have Brentford 0, Burnley 0. First chance of the game, corner on the right hand side. There was Nathan Collins at the back post, 4 yards out, put his header wide. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
And you've had a good start at Hillsborough, Naz.
Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 1. Liam Palmer's pinpoint cross, Charlie McNeil a header into the bottom corner. It's 2 for him, 2 for Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 1.
Without a win in 11 are Sheffield Wednesdays. The free kick goes back to Perry, the Leeds United goalkeeper, strokes it towards Rodon. He'll hit the ball long. They're looking for Dan James. You were saying that the Leeds United fans have been clamouring for James to come into the side instead of Aronson.
Yep, I think they feel that Aronson's been a little bit lightweight, and as he hasn't had the goals and assists and the numbers to his game. Different types of players, aren't they? I think Aronson's busier, will try and knit things together, where Daniel James is more direct.
Doku collects the ball from Gvardiol. With a pacey ball, he looks for it to try and pierce that Leeds United defence. Foden sliding on the west surface, couldn't bring the ball under control. It's bowled out underarm by Perry, and then Justin will clip it out towards James. That was James Justin for James on that far side, who's now level with the penalty area, and O'Reilly tight behind him dispossesses him, keeps the ball in play, and then plays it short towards Gvardiol. I have a mental block with James Justin, because a number of years ago I was doing a League Cup tie, Burton Albion against Leicester, and I spent the first half calling him Justin James, and Mick Harford sent me a message saying, "Lou, in the commentary, Ian, but you've got his name wrong." So every time I'm saying James Justin, I'm making sure that I've got it right. It could give me nightmares, could James Justin or Justin James.
Yeah, I mean, it's easily done. It's not like you to make a mistake, though, is it?
Well, don't worry, Simon Grayson's wife thought I was called Dennis Ian. Here is Nico Gonzalez, Bernardo Silva. Out towards this near side for Mateus Nunes, and he just trundles his way forward as Bernardo Silva, as Leeds United again drop off. We've been playing for 17 and a half minutes, but by that time Nunes is almost level with the penalty area, and Manchester City are midway through the Leeds United half. And Reinders to Gvardiol, out towards Doku, who's got a little bit of space to control the ball. Dan James is in front of him. Doku delivers the cross deep. Haaland's header beaten to it by Struijk, and it will go out for last touch for a goal kick. Walsall have fallen behind in that top of the table clash. That's top against third, but Swindon, remember, pegged back at Chesterfield, so Bromley actually, as it currently stands, would go top of League Two. They're looking for a 5th successive win. We'll bring you news of that goal from Nekesh Rugani when we can. But Bromley are ahead at the Bescott Stadium in League Two. Perry clears away downfield. Gvardiol tries to challenge Metcher in the air, and then it's Ruben Dias who will go all the way back to Donnarumma. 18 and a half minutes played at the Etihad. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, that debate earlier, you feel that Leeds would be better served with Dominic Calvert-Lewin as that central striker if they are going to play direct. Metcher is a striker who likes to run in behind. That's his game. Not so good with his back to goal.
He's scored 2 in his last 2, has Lucas Metcher. Let's go to Brentford. John Southall.
Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Opening though for Burnley. Jensen gave the ball away to Hannibal in the penalty area. It just opened up for him. He went down looking for the penalty. He clearly dived, given the yellow card. Why he dived, I don't know. He was in a great position. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Manchester City almost close to a second. It was O'Reilly who got in round the back on the left-hand side, pulled it back. There was a good block that came in.
James Justin.
And then in the end it was Gonzalez with a deflected shot. He did well to keep it out from Foden.
He did. I mean, that's brilliant from James Justin, because Phil Foden, when the ball coming towards him. He's 7 yards out. He thinks he's scored. But Justin, out of nowhere, throws himself to his left-hand side and makes a brilliant block.
So Manchester City leading by a goal to nil. Have a corner kick on this near side, the right. Away towards our right-hand side. In it comes now. It's delivered deep. And it's put over the top at the far post by Gvardiol, who was arriving late. That'll be a goal kick. Leeds still trail by a goal to nil. Coventry City, the championship leaders, still behind. Charlie Slater.
They are, but it's all happening here at the CBS Arena. 20 minutes on the clock. Coventry 0, Charlton 1. Coventry have just had a huge shout for a penalty turned down by the referee, and Charlton had a header through Jones, cleared off the line at the other end. Charlton still leading by a goal to nil.
Manchester City is still leading by a goal to nil, and I told you that Bromley were ahead at Walsall. Here's Nikesh Ragani.
Yeah, Walsall 0, Bromley 1. Ben Krauhaus with the goal after being squared into the centre of the box by Mitch Pinnock from the left. Krauhaus with a left-footed finish. It's Walsall 0, Bromley 1.
We've been playing for just over 20 minutes here on BBC Radio 5 live in the World Service. Bernardo Silva collects the ball and comes in off now the right touchline. The ball won't travel with him as Gnonto is in front of him. Diaz delivers the cross. Downward header by Rodon, and that will be eventually cleared by Bogle. Didn't get too much on it. And it's Reinders to play the ball inside. Doku shapes to shoot, passes the ball instead towards Haaland. Battles for it, does Haaland. His dad, incidentally, is here today, Alfie, who 92 appearances for Leeds United between 97 and 2000. Doku with a cutback. Haaland guides his header outside the area, hit by Diaz, down into the ground, and it's off target. He scored that goal against Newcastle last weekend, which was his first since Sevilla in September 2022, and it was off target. Bradford City lead Exeter City by a goal to nil. Graham Alexander's side without a win in 6, although they have drawn 5 of them, and they are 1-0 up at Valley Parade as we hear news of a try. Wales, South Africa, Molly Stevens.
And it's the world champions who draw first blood here at the Principality Stadium. Wales 0, South Africa 7. Steenkamp with the try, but they had to work for it. Wales' defence particularly solid in the opening 10 minutes. Playing out the phases, South Africa get their first try. It's Wales 0, South Africa 7.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra 3, one of the streaming services available through the BBC Sounds app, as Haaland kicks the ball high in the air out towards that far side, and running out into space 10 yards inside the Leeds half is Doku. Early forward ball, Riley gives pursuit with the cutback, but Rodon is there to tidy up for Leeds. News of another chance at Brentford. John Southall.
Chances in. Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Damsgaard on the left-hand side, back to Thiago. First time shot, 8 yards out, over the bar. Then Damsgaard has just flashed one over the crossbar from the edge of the area. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Well, Leeds are still in the game, aren't they, at 1-0?
They are, and I mentioned that Manchester City high line, Manchester City dominant in possession, and Leeds are, at times just one ball over the top. And Gvardiol and Diaz are having to really concentrate and be careful with Metch's pace.
Shrewsbury Town have won their last 3 at home, and they're now 2-0 up at home to Gillingham in League 2. As Gvardiol towards Diaz, the two central defenders passing the ball to each other as Manchester City in their sky blue shirts on this grey, dismal day come forward, and then Bernardo Silva will go back to the centre circle for Gvardiol, who hits another diagonal ball into the air for Mateus Nunes, who controls it deep inside the Leeds United half. A ripple of applause for Mateus Nunes, but Gnonto sticks to his task, gets the sliding challenge, but concedes a corner. Manchester City 1-0, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, good from Nunes, wonderful touch on crossfield ball, killed the ball instantly and wins the corner. We wondered who would start out on that right hand side for Manchester City. It's more Bernardo Silva, who we know he likes to come inside on that left foot, but they've combined well, Silva and Nunes.
Phil Foden remaining central as close as he can to Erling Haaland. On this occasion it's Foden who takes the corner kick, and the downward header by Gvardiol might actually come towards Foden, fires the back in, and Perry actually makes a really good one-handed save. It was fizzed back in by Foden, but a strong wrist by Lucas Perry behind for a corner kick. City still 1-0 up.
Yeah, really disappointing from Leeds with the initial corner. Gvardiol gets a free header, actually knocks the ball back to Phil Foden. What a 1-2 that would have been. And Foden, angle against him, but is on that left foot of his, that wand of his. That's creeping into the top corner. Good fist, good hand from Perry.
In comes the corner on that left-hand side. The goalkeeper has come, hasn't got there, and it's prodded in by Gvardiol. And Manchester City have got a second goal. 25 minutes played at the Etihad, and Leeds United are really up against it. Manchester City 2, Leeds 0.
Well, gotta say, weak Leeds, limp Leeds, lame Leeds. Had the warning from the previous corner. Guardiola got a free header, didn't dispatch that, but Daniel Farke, the Leeds manager, shaking his head in his technical area. They've got to compete, and they don't. Leeds. Perry flaps, and there's a bit of a melee, and then the ball's popped in from a yard. I mean, that is a shambolic goal to concede from Leeds' point of view. Easy street for Manchester City.
Barnet are leading Harrogate Town by 1-0. Harrogate without a win in 7 before going into that game in League 2. And Doncaster Rovers 2, Peterborough United 0 is the latest score in League 1. Motherwell Hearts, we thought that there'd been a goal, but I think what it is that it's been ruled out for VAR. So Motherwell thought they'd scored through Callum Hendry, but Kenny Crawford, VAR has intervened.
It has intervened and it's cancelled the goal out, so it's still Motherwell 0, Hearts 0. Callum Hendry, son of former Blackburn defender Colin, thought he'd put them in front. It was a nick from an Elliott Watt cross, but he was offside according to VAR when he got that nick, so it's Motherwell 0, Hearts 0.
Talking of VAR, they are now checking that second Manchester City goal for a possible offside, Chris Sutton.
Yep, they are, and I mean Leeds would get away with one here. I mean it's so tight as the ball's whipped in, the corner's whipped in. Got to say the Leeds goalkeeper doesn't do himself any favours, comes and flaps. Lucas Perry doesn't get the ball, then the ball is down, and there's Manchester City players around it, Leeds United players around it, has popped in, but still checking. Guardiola it was who ended up popping the ball in. It's so close, so tight.
To the naked eye, I would suggest that the heel of the Leeds United goalkeeper Perry might be playing them onside.
You know, I don't trust your eyesight.
Who said that?
I mean, look, it's obviously for it to take this long, the decision, I mean, it must be as close as anything. I'm going to sit on the fence.
That's not like you. No, seriously, that's not like you.
How can you call this? I mean, it's brave from you.
Isn't semi-automated offside meant to help in this instance?
Yeah.
Because this is a long delay.
No, absolutely, but it's not helping, and you can hear what the supporters inside the stadium think.
Well, Peter Banks at the minute is helpless. Rob Jones is the VAR, and at Stockley Park they'll be going through it. I mean, this is, I would imagine, is going to come down to millimetres.
Yeah, I would have thought more millimetres than centimetres. There we go, goal given. Lucas Perry, he had hold of the ball. He was expecting it to be disallowed, the Leeds goalkeeper.
Well, after a lengthy VAR check, the goal stands, and you should have trusted my eyesight.
I should have done.
Dundee 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership, and Leyton Orient have got a second goal at Burton Albion. Burton Albion 0, Leyton Orient 2 is the latest score in League 1. When I mentioned those 5-0 defeats for Daniel Farke when he came here with Norwich in 2020 and 2021, he conceded late goals in both of those games.
I mean, you just sense City haven't really got going. The disappointment, really, the first goal inside a minute, and then the second goal, weak defending from a corner. This could be a long afternoon. It could be a cricket score.
It could. Well, they actually had. I was here a few years ago when they suffered a heavy defeat. That was 2021 Leeds. They were beaten 7-0, which actually equalled. It was their heaviest defeat since 1934. When they lost 8-1 against Stoke City. But it's their record Premier League defeat. So Daniel Farke, he doesn't have a good track record against Manchester City. A penalty at Sunderland, Chris Coles.
And a chance for Sunderland to get back into this game. They trail Bournemouth by 2-0 at the Stadium of Light, but Enzo Lefebvre stands over this spot kick to give Sunderland away back into this game. Lefebvre against Petrovic. Lefebvre scores, fires it into the roof of the net. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2.
Might just test Bournemouth a little bit. That they had a little bit of a blip. What is it? 1 win from 5. Commentary of that continues on Sports Extra. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got Everton, Newcastle United after Sports Report with Mark Chapman. All the results and the reaction between 5 and half 5 before we go to the Hill Dickinson Stadium with Mike Maine and Paul Robinson. But it's got a feel already. I mean, this game is done and dusted, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. And when you think Leeds coming into this game losing Longstaff and Statch, who have been the big players for them in the centre of the park for Leeds this season, but it feels like if you're a Leeds player, it's about damage limitation, and that shouldn't be the case.
No. Well, the goal difference, where are they in the relegation zone, along with Burnley and Wolves, but they are 11 points level with West Ham United, as the ball is passed out by Donnarumma towards Diaz. But Manchester City, very, very hard to see them relinquishing this position against the Leeds United side that, apart from one set piece, have not been able to lay a glove on Manchester City. Wales, South Africa in the rugby. Molly Stevens.
South Africa have doubled their lead inside 15 minutes. It's their winger Ethan Hooker who danced around the Wales defence down the right hand side. Light work here for the world champions so far. Wales 0, South Africa 14.
At the minute, Leeds United -13, West Ham -10. But because Burnley are technically picking up a point, the live league table will tell you that Leeds United have actually slipped a position as it currently stands. As here is James Justin passing the ball back towards Joe Rodon. The next set of fixtures are not kind either for Daniel Farke. Chelsea at home on Wednesday and Liverpool at home next Saturday. 5:30 commentary, you'll hear that live on 5 Live as Dan James tries to come forward. It might break towards Nonto. Nonto shifts it towards Metcha, and Metcha shoots left-footed. First sight of goal that Leeds United have had after 31 minutes. It was left-footed, it was always on the rise. It's a goal kick as they trail 2-0.
Yeah, that ball in behind, good long ball in behind the Manchester City back line. Gvardiol and James, little tussle there, and Gvardiol just about does enough, but pops the ball out to Willie Nonto, who's on the edge of the box. Feeds the ball to Metcha. It's a poor first touch, and on his weaker left foot, well over the crossbar. Got to hit the target. He's got to work Donnarumma in that situation. He doesn't.
Dundee 1, St Mirren 1, so Dundee are level at Dens Park in the Scottish Premiership. Manchester City lead 2-0. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2 is the latest score on Sports Extra. It remains goalless between Brentford and Burnley. O'Reilly collects the ball on that far side, the left. Manchester City playing from left to right, and now it's with Gonzalez. Collects it from Foden. Short, sharp passing between the two of them. Actually comes to a standstill, does Nico Gonzalez, and now back with Gvardiol, and they're passing the ball in that central area as Bernardo Silva now runs with the ball at his feet, and Nunez is ahead of him. He's forced to retreat. Grueff goes towards him, and then Diaz back with Gonzalez. Just feels like a formality this here for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola watching on, very casual, all in black.
They're playing at their own pace, aren't they? Totally dictating this game now. Comfortable, 2-0 up. Signs of Leeds will drag your players out of position. We'll make you pay, we'll punish you. Erling Haaland hasn't got going yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. Huddersfield 0, Wimbledon 1. They look for Haaland then, that was blocked. Lincoln lead Port Vale by a goal to 0. Port Vale, who are actually scoreless in their last 5 games, where they've drawn 1 and lost 4. As Justin looks for a ball out towards Dan James, and it goes straight through to Donnarumma instead. Another goal at Carrow Road in the Championship, Sahel Sahi.
And a third and a second for Norwich, so it's Norwich 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1, and a third from a corner. This time it seems to have come off directly off a Queen's Park Rangers player. Yes, it's Jimmy Dunn, their captain, with an own goal. So it's Norwich 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Salford City 0, Crawley Town 1 is the latest score in League 2. City lead by 2 goals to 0 here against Leeds United. Doku out towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly waits 10 yards up from the byline, back towards the Belgian international level of the penalty area. Foden makes a run off the ball. They go back. Reinders strokes it in field. This is Ruben Diaz toying with Leeds United, playing in front and just waiting for an opening. Bernardo Silva challenged by Nonto. That'll go behind for Manchester City corner kick, right hand side.
Nonto's disappointed with the award of the corner. He thought last touch came off Bernardo Silva, who threw a couple of step overs. Leeds are going to have to defend this corner much better than the last one, which was put in, and Manchester City scored. In swinger from Phil Foden again.
Foden once again has wandered across to this near right hand side to take it. Well, they've gathered at the far post, and that again is where it's aimed towards. Rodon heads it out on this occasion. And the ball is by Nunez, back out towards Foden. Rolls it forward, left foot, it hits it in low, flicked by Gvardiol, comes back towards the Croatian. He now tees up Reinders. Right-footed, hit it first time, just over the crossbar, out for a goal kick. Manchester City with 10 minutes to go to half-time, still lead 2-0.
Yeah, right smile from Reinders, who feels that he should have hit the target and worked the Leeds goalkeeper. Perry is not far away. Clever little setback from Guardiola, allows Reinders to stroll onto the ball first time and half a yard over the crossbar.
Perry with the goal kick, clears long for Leeds. Diaz heads it up in the air, offside. Mecha coming back from an offside position. Goal now in League One at Cardiff. Laura Kenyon.
Cardiff 1, Mansfield 0. Cardiff looking to return top of table, off the mark here and deservedly so from a corner. A neat little header from centre half Will Fish, his second of the season. Mansfield work to do. Cardiff 1, Mansfield 0.
The leaders Stevenage is still drawing at Wigan 0-0, but second place Cardiff and third place Bradford City are both leading. Another goal at Carrow Road in the Championship, Sahel Sahi.
Norwich are flying, Norwich 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Sargent attacking the penalty area, he stopped just outside it, looked to his right, played in Forson, first time left footed, curled it past Paul Nardi. Norwich 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
I've always been a fan of Philip Clement.
Third time lucky for him, isn't it? His third game in charge, his second at Carrow Road.
Not over yet, though.
Surely they can't throw that away against the Queen's Park Rangers side, who went into it showing signs of a mini revival with 3 games unbeaten. Here is Diaz, out towards Mateus Nunes on this near side, the right. Back then towards Gonzalez. Feels like a training exercise at times for these.
Absolutely. And it just looks like the Leeds United players, they don't believe they can get back in this game. It's about trying to keep Manchester City out. They need a spark, don't they, from somewhere?
Need something. Spark or a jolt. Suggest a jolt might be better than the spark. Brentford-Burnley, John Southall.
Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Just gone into a bit of a lull the game. No signs of life from Burnley. An acrobatic effort from Axel Twanzebe. Brilliantly saved by Kelleher. There the flag went up belatedly. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Here is Bernardo Silva. Gonzalez is wanting the ball back. Instead he finds Nunes, stumbles over the ball. Mecha tries to hold him off. Loose ball picked up by Gonzalez. Back towards Ruben Diaz. Steps forward with the ball now towards Nunes. Can't get the ball towards Haaland at the minute. We'll talk about that over-reliance on Haaland scoring all of Manchester City's goals. 58% he scored of Manchester City's goals this season compared to 31% last season.
58.33%.
Why?
That's 58.33%.
Not now they've scored 2 more goals.
No, before the game though.
But they don't need him today, it would seem.
No, at the moment he hasn't really been involved, and you think his time will come. But I mean, it's an absolute stroll for Manchester City, and I think we thought it, may become like this. But you think the position that Leeds are in, you'd expect them to show a little bit more determination. But I think it's a lack of confidence. I really do.
Ball is hooked high up in the air. It drops towards Rodon, headed forward by Gonzalez. This is Justin, gives it towards Nonto. Nonto is tripped by Bernardo Silva, and that will be a free kick for Leeds United midway through their own half, missing that influence in the midfield of Longstaff and Stack.
I think so. Well, certainly missing that physicality and that aggression which Stack and Longstaff possessed. Longstaff has been really steady this season. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a calf injury. But yeah, Gruev and Tanaka just don't quite have that physical presence.
Gillingham have got a goal back at Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury 2, Gillingham 1 is the latest score in League 2. Cries have come on City from the home crowd here at the Etihad. We've got about 6 minutes to go to half-time. It's one-way traffic, with Manchester City absolutely dominating, leading by 2-0. O'Reilly passing the ball to each other at will. Newport County lead Barrow by 1-0 in League 2. You're up to date with the goals as they go in on 5 Live in the World Service. Foden looks for the run in behind. Nunes clips over the first-time cross. But there was Strauch, and then Nonto, Tanaka, Gruev in field, Ampadu. Now Leeds United start to come forward and they venture over the halfway line. Nonto looks for the return ball to Ampadu. He's continued the run, he's onside. Going with him is Reinders. Certainly from a neutral's point of view, he could do with Leeds United to get a goal back, to reduce the arrears, to make it just a little bit more interesting. as now it is Rodon, and I think for the first time in the game they commit every player into the Manchester City half, and they look for the run of Tanaka, but it goes all the way through to Donnarumma. There's been another goal at Coventry City. Charlie Slater.
Coventry deservedly level with 5 minutes left of the first half. Josh Eccles, edge of the penalty area, smart finish to the bottom corner of the net. It's Coventry 1, Charlton 1.
That was better from Leeds, though, wasn't it? That build-up play, a bit of confidence, one-touch passing, good down the left-hand side, switch to the right, and Tanaka, who had made the forward run. Bogle just overhit the pass.
Ball hit long. O'Reilly can't keep the ball in play over on that left-hand side. So Manchester City, with a number of their supporters now heading towards the concourses for some half-time refreshment, even with 5 minutes remaining. That gives you an indication of how content they feel about the proceedings that they're watching.
Yeah, it's been too easy. This is exactly where you want to be if you're a Manchester City fan, a Manchester City player. The importance of 3 points today, I don't think anybody could see anything other than a Manchester City home win, but the players have to go out and perform, and it's been comfortable, hasn't it? Too comfortable.
Manchester City travel to Fulham on Tuesday. We'll be going around the grounds for the midweek Premier League action on both Tuesday and Wednesday on BBC Radio 5 Live. Dundee 2, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership, and we've got 4 minutes to go to the break. Here is Diaz, just right of the centre circle, inside the City half. Gvardiol now will just touch the ball to O'Reilly, and O'Reilly will, with a square pass, will now find Diaz, who comes over the halfway line. Foden collects it to his feet with his back to goal, being tracked by Justin. Reinders inside the centre circle will go back out towards Diaz, and they've pushed Mateus Nunes forward, and here he is level with the penalty area. Back now towards Phil Foden, finding sky blue shirts at will. Not a great deal of pressure in closing them down. Leeds United just trying to keep their shape, it would seem, at this stage as they trail 2-0. Here is Reinders. Reinders in a central area, runs forward with the ball, goes to ground and gets a direct free kick.
He's just checked there, Reinders. I mentioned how tight it is in that central area. Leeds flooding that central area, trying to make Manchester City play out wide, and Reinders sees the space, and it's Metcher, Leeds centre forward, who gives him a little nudge, and this is a good little shooting position, this, for Manchester City. I think far enough out to get it up and over the wall. Phil Foden keen.
It's right of centre. It's 25, 26 yards out from goal. You've got Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva. You've also got Reinders having a word, and Ruben Diaz is the other player. So there is a quartet of sky blue shirts standing over the ball. In fact, O'Reilly wanders also over to have his two penneth, as now they break and will be left with either Phil Foden, who scored the opening goal after 59 seconds, officially timed courtesy of Opta, and then the other player is Reinders, as Leeds United have got 4 in the wall, standing just inside their penalty area. Manchester City playing from left to right, leading by 2-0. Left foot of Foden or the right foot of Reinders. It's Reinders into the top of the wall, and Nonto, rather than clearing it, will decide to run it downfield, but he's held up and it doesn't go out of play as he tries to get a throw, and Manchester City get the ball back, and even then there is no respite for Leeds United.
No, they're just content defending. Leeds United had that one good passing pattern where they played the way up the pitch about 5 minutes ago, but other than that they've offered very little threat. Donnarumma has had basically nothing to do.
Doku loses the ball, then gets it back. Doku inside the penalty area. Doku with a cross. It almost fell towards Haaland. It will fall to Bernardo Silva, but the block came in from Justin, not for the first time in that penalty area. Manchester City now to try and inject a little bit of pace to their attacks with Phil Foden. Right corner of the area, in it goes. Glancing header didn't come off. Hit by Gonzalez, saved by the legs of Perry. Oh, he hit that sweetly. Right-footed volley. Caught it so well, and Perry just had to react. Now Manchester City piling on the pressure. Cross from the left-hand side. Haaland is there. Falls towards Reinders. Takes a deflection behind for a corner. Leeds United are on the ropes.
Yeah, Perry's goal is being peppered by Manchester City. Good save from Gonzalez. The ball sat up, waiting to be thumped by Nico Gonzalez. He thumped it. Good save from Perry. And then yet another block from a Leeds defender. Manchester City with the corner.
Manchester City have the corner kick on this near side. Reinders is thinking, how did that not go in? Caught it so well. Corner kick, Foden to take it. City lead 2-0. Near side the right, Gvardiol will try and keep the ball in play. He's gone out for another corner kick despite the best efforts from Perry. Corner on that far side the left. We will be going to Coventry and Charlie Slater. In fact, Charlie, just tell us the score and we'll get the details off after the corner.
Coventry have turned it round. Coventry 2, Charlton 1, Ellis Sims.
Thank you. Back with you very, very soon. So Coventry, who were trailing to Nathan Jones's side, now lead by 2-1. Corner kick, far side, the left. In it comes now. It's an in-swinger. It's headed up rather than away. Gvardiol back towards Foden, edge of the area, chips the ball in and goes out of play, and there will be 3 minutes of added on time. We'll go back to Charlie Slater then for news of that second goal from Ellis Sims.
And we're into 8 minutes of additional time here. Coventry 2, Charlton 1, corner kick, swinging into the penalty area, crowded 6-yard box. Sims flicked it home with a header, his third goal in 2 games. Coventry 2, Charlton 1.
Barrow have equalised in League 2, Newport County 1, Barrow 1. Leeds United can be thankful that the scoreline is only 2.
I mean, just an incident which happened there with Pascal Struijk actually in no rush to pick the ball up and roll it back to his goalkeeper and get on with the game. His team are losing, and yet Struijk content with going in 2-0 down, really. Very odd.
3 minutes added time then here at the Etihad. This is 5 Live in the World Service, and Manchester City extremely comfortable. Forward ball for Leeds United, a rare foray into the Manchester City half. Back to the halfway line it goes. A little bit of a miss kick, but it fell quite kindly towards Ampadu, who knocks it all the way back towards Lucas Perry, who I thought showed almost too much towards Haaland. As Manchester City press, Leeds United under pressure give the ball away and they concede a throw.
And Daniel Parker furious with his Leeds team in the build-up play. Just don't have the confidence, don't have the bravery to play through Manchester City on a regular basis.
Salford City 1, Crawley Town 1 is the latest score in League 2. You're up to date with the goals, as here is Foden able to turn. In field, O'Reilly pops into a central area, the Manchester City left back. Reinders provides an option to him, and then the Dutchman will stroke it towards Diaz. And Diaz, with Manchester City having every Leeds United player back behind the ball, it's just a question of trying to find another way through if they can get a third goal in stoppage time here in the first half. Diaz now floats it, a diagonal ball. Doku tries to get round the back. Dan James was watchful, needed the touch off his head to concede the corner kick.
Yeah, dangerous Doku behind Daniel James. Good little flick, but they've got a corner to defend, Leeds United, before half-time.
Was that your attempt at an unintended pub name on the Commentators View podcast, the Dangerous Doku? Yeah, corner is taken short from the Dangerous Doku. Here is Gonzalez back towards the aforementioned Belgian. Waits, passes it back. Reinders leaves it for Doku once again. Where is the final ball? And it comes now. Oh, and I thought the header was goal bound by O'Reilly. In the end, it didn't have the pace on it, and it was patted down by Perry.
Did it hit him on the shoulder? What a chance for O'Reilly, 6 yards out. Ball whipped in from the dangerous Doku. Should have scored.
Now that goes down as an intended pub name.
What about the in for me and Dennis?
Behave. Here is Justin. There's the half-time whistle. Saved by the bell, I think you'll find. Complete and utter domination for Manchester City. They scored inside 60 seconds from Phil Foden. Leeds United done down the right-hand side, and then Gvardiol stabbed in a second after 25 minutes, and only down to Perry's saves has prevented Manchester City from further goals. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, very easy for Manchester City, very one-sided. Got the early goal, second one from a corner. You just can't see Leeds getting back into this game. It's a huge half-time team talk for Daniel Parker, who, got to say, maybe under a bit of pressure.
Half-time at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, Leeds United 0.
Second half on the way from the Etihad. Brentford been very good at home this season. So with John Southall in attendance, it is
0-0 for a while. Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Hasn't been a bad half. Both have had presentable chances. Two good ones for Brentford. The first, Nathan Collins headed wide from 4 yards. The second, Thiago's first time shot flew over the bar. For Burnley, a strange choice from Hannibal. Jensen gave the ball away. Hannibal found himself in a really good position in the area, elected to dive under a challenge. Why did he do that? Got a yellow for simulation, was in a great position. Then late in the half, Fleming, left edge of the area, saved by a flying Keller to his left-hand side. Think they'll be happy with this, Burnley. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Shrewsbury have got a third, 4 minutes into first half stoppage time. It's George Lloyd's second of the afternoon, and they lead Gillingham by 3-1. Still playing at the Stadium of Light in the first half. Chris Coles.
2 minutes of the first half to play. We had 7 added on to deal with a lengthy VAR check to deal with Sunderland's penalty that Enzo Lefea scored. That's given Sunderland a route back into this game after Bournemouth's quick-fire double. Adley's first for the club, and Adams with a wonder goal from inside the centre circle. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2.
Now in the Championship earlier on this afternoon, Stoke were beaten at home by Hull. Bristol City 1 at Portsmouth, Leicester 2, Sheffield United 3. In the 3 o'clock games, still playing at Coventry, Charlie Slater.
Yes, 8 minutes of additional time here because of a nasty-looking injury earlier on to Coventry midfielder Eccles, but he's OK, back on the pitch and initially scored the equaliser. Sims has now got Coventry in front. We've still got another 2.5 minutes remaining of stoppage time at the end of the first half, but Coventry deservedly in front now against a struggling Charlton who have been brought back down to earth. Coventry 2, Charlton 1.
First half at the Riverside hasn't gone to plan for Middlesbrough's new manager, Shojo.
Yeah, Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1. New manager Kim Hellberg saw his Borough team fall behind in the second minute as Derby took the lead through Patrick Adjumang. The American latched onto a hopeful ball. He finished really, really well. Borough have had 74% of the possession. Their right back Callum Britton hit the underside of the bar. It was inches from going over the line. Derby, though, looked very dangerous on every counter-attack. Half-time, Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1.
Goalless at the Den, Mark Scott.
And Southampton lucky that it's goalless at the break. Millwall have bossed things so far, stronger in midfield, more inventive and incisive going forwards, but just lacking the killer touch up top. Imaku missed a sitter as he's bent one just wide from the edge of the box, and Dan Kelly was kept out by a brilliant Bazunu save. The Saints keeper then got a bit lucky when a foul was given against Caleb Taylor, who put the loose ball into the net. Saints have won all 4 of their games under interim boss Tonda Eckert, but it's been a struggle for them so far today. Millwall 0, Southampton 0.
To Hillsborough next, Naz Premji.
Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 1. The home side on course for their first home league win of the season. They took an early lead when Harry Amass cut back for Charlie McNeil, curled in a shot into the top corner. Ben Whiteman for Preston levelled after a good routine from the corner. His low drive into the bottom corner. Wednesday hit back again. Great work from Barry Bannon and Harry Amass in the build-up. And Liam Palmer crossed the ball for Charlie McNeil, who headed in his and his side second. Preston, to be honest, Mark, have not been great that 45. They need to do better. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 1.
And if you think that's a surprise at Hillsborough, wait till you hear this from Carrow Road. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, where it's half-time, Norwich 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Plenty of attacking football then from both sides, resulting in 4 goals. Marcondes firing Norwich into the lead. It only lasted 2 minutes. Queen's Park Rangers leading goal scorer Roman Burrell poking in an equaliser. All level then for 25 minutes. And then 2 in 3 minutes from Norwich sees them heading for a first home win of the season on the final Saturday in November. But half-time still, 45 minutes to play. Norwich 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
2 teams in awful form at the Hawthorns. West Brom 1 win in their last 7. Swansea 4 straight defeats, and it is the visitors who lead to increase the pressure on Ryan Mason. It is West Brom 0, Swansea 2. Zan Vipotnik with the first 9 for the season for him. Ethan Galbraith got the second, and the visitors lead at Wrexham as well. Blackburn are a goal up there thanks to Andre Gudjonsson's 5th of the season. Back to the Premier League. Half-time whistle has now gone at Sunderland. Chris Coles.
Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2. Brilliant game, incredibly open, helped by the pouring rain throughout the first half. Bournemouth 2 up quickly, Adley's rebound after Evan Ilson had hit the post, and Adams' wonder goal. Think Richarlison the other week, think McLean shooting from the centre circle with Roofs on the edge of his box, beautifully struck, in it went, but Enzo Lefea's penalty has given Sunderland a way back into this game. It survived a VAR check, a lengthy one at that. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2.
And the half-time whistle has now gone at Coventry. Charlie.
where it's Coventry 2, Charlton 1. Two late Coventry goals turned this one on its head. Charlton were in front after 12 minutes when Harvey Nibbs scored from close range. But goals first from Eccles and then Sims see Coventry going at the break, leading by 2-1.
Now, earlier in League One, Reading won 3-0 at Blackpool. It finished Stockport 1, Barnsley 1. So the leaders at the start of the 3 o'clock games are Stevenage. They're at Wigan, Ben Croucher.
In the live table, because it is Wigan 0, Stevenage 0. It was a bright first 20 here, but like the Wigan weather, it was dreary thereafter. Stevenage are playing with more confidence. Had me twice, went close. Tickle denied Jamie Reid at full stretch at his near post too, but Wigan have been reduced to half chances and the commentators have been reduced to watching the Zorb football at half time. Mark, it's Wigan 0, Stevenage 0.
So it means Cardiff are going top as things stand. Laura Kenyon.
Cardiff 1, Mansfield 0. Cardiff eyeing up that top spot, as you say, leapfrogging Stevenage as things stand. A narrow lead through centre-half Will Fish, buried a header, bottom corner, Joel Bagan's delivery. They have scored the most goals in the division, Cardiff. Should arguably, though, be further ahead. Mansfield, well, they haven't tested Nathan Trott in the Cardiff goal at all. Just 2 away wins in the league this season. Half-time, Cardiff 1, Mansfield 0.
To Kenilworth Road, where Luton's recent home form is not great. They've lost 3 of their last 6 at home, and yet Bolton go there with just 1 away win in the league this season. Something has to give. Mike Williams.
And it's the visitors who are in front here at the break mark through Kyle Dempsey's 8-minute goal. Lovely turn and shoot from the Wanderers man on the edge of the box. But Jack Wilshere's Luton grew into the game and had a couple of good chances to equalise towards the end of the first half, including Jacob Brown, who saw his close-range effort inadvertently cleared off the line by his own player, Jerry Yates. At the break, it's Luton 0, Bolton 1.
Elsewhere in League One, Bradford, who've drawn 5 of their last 6 in the league, lead at the break. Joe Wright has got the goal and they're 1-0 up at home to Exeter. Burton 0, Leyton Orient 2. Aaron Connolly's 9th of the season. Don Ballard's 7th of the season with the goals for Richie Wellens' side. Doncaster, winless in their last 10, are up at half-time. They lead Peterborough by 2-0. Jordan Gibson has got both of the goals for Grant McCann's side there. Huddersfield 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Marcus Brown with his 5th of the season for the visitors there. Lincoln lead Port Vale by 1-0. It's goalless between Plymouth and Northampton. Wickham are a goal up at Rotherham. Into League 2, where earlier Accrington Stanley beat Oldham 1-0. MK Dons went to the top of the table with a 2-1 win over Fleetwood. How can the leaders at the start of the day, Walsall, respond? Nikesh Ragani.
Well, they haven't responded so far. It's Walsall 0, Bromley 1. Walsall starting the day at the top of League 2, as you say, but right now it's Bromley, as things stand, who are heading to the top, and the visitors well worth their lead. They've been strong, they've been direct and solid in defence. Their goal came courtesy of Ben Krauhaus, who struck from the centre of the area after a cross from the left. Walsall have been flat, they've been nervous. They're going to need a massive turnaround in the second half if they're to get anything from this game. At half-time, it's Walsall 0, Bromley 1.
All square at Chesterfield at the break. Niall McCorn.
Chesterfield 1, Swindon 1, and a Swindon win would give them the chance to return to the top of League 2 if Walsall are defeated. They made a rapid start, scoring the opening goal on 8 minutes through the head of Finlay Munro, who timed his back post run to perfection, but they were pegged back almost immediately by Chesterfield, who levelled through experienced midfielder John Fleck, thrashing in from inside the area after Swindon couldn't clear their box. Chesterfield had further chances through Markanday, Naylor and Mandeville. They've also hit the post. They have had the better of it, but it's been a breathless first half between two sides with managers in Paul Cook and Ian Holloway, who between them have almost 2,000 games of touchline experience. How they negotiate the second half will be intriguing. Chesterfield 1, Swindon Town 1.
Elsewhere in League 2, British Sombalonga has got the goal for Barnet and they lead Harrogate by 1-0. Goalless between Bristol Rovers and Notts County, but Notts County are down to 10 in that game. It's Cambridge 0, Crewe 0. Colchester lead Cheltenham by 1-0. Kyrese Lisby with the goal there, 7th for the season for him. Christian Fuchs's first home game in charge of bottom of the table Newport is all square at the break. They're 1-1 with Barrow. Also 1-1 between Salford and Crawley. Shrewsbury lead Gillingham by 3-1. In the National League earlier, Solihull Moors 1, Wealdstone 1. At half-time, Altrincham 1, Scunthorpe 1. Braintree lead Morecambe by 1-0. Carlisle are being held by Tamworth. It's 1-1 at Brunton Park. Forest Green Rovers 0, Southend 0. Hartlepool are a goal up on Truro. Cracky, that's some trip for Truro this afternoon. Rochdale 0, Eastleigh 0, Sutton 1, Gateshead 1, Woking 1, Brackley 0. Brackley are down to 10 in that game. Yeovil 0, Boston 0, and York 1, Aldershot 1. In the Scottish Premiership, Dundee lead St Mirren by 2-1. And at half-time at Fir Park, Kenny Crawford.
Finely poised, Mark. Motherwell 0, Hearts 0. The hosts edged the first half and had the ball in the back of the net, but Callum Hendry's shoulder was deemed to be offside as he turned in Elliot Watts past VAR intervening there. Stuart Finlay, Harry Milne and Cammy Devlin have all had half chances for league leaders Hearts, whose manager Derek McInnes will be determined to get more from in the second half. Motherwell 0, Hearts 0.
Right, stay there, Kenny, just in case I need you. In the Scottish Cup, Airdrieonians 0, Hamilton 0, Annan lead Bucky Thistle by 1-0. It's Ayr 2, Turriff United 0. Banks,
go for that.
Thank you very much. Bankside 0, Ross County 1, Benburb 0, Montrose 2. Benburb, the lowest side left in the competition. They're in the 7th tier. It's Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Spartans 2. Camelon Juniors.
I'll go Camelon Juniors.
Camelon, thanks. Camelon Juniors 0, Edinburgh City 0, Dumbarton 0, Auchinleck Talbot 1. So that will be a surprise. Dumbarton of League 2 taking on the 6th tier, Auchinleck Talbot. Dunfermline 2, Queen of the South 1. It's East Fife 0, Arbroath 2. Elgin 1, Stirling 0, Forfar 0, Partick Thistle 1, Kelty Hearts lead Brechin by 1-0, Peterhead are a goal up on Morton. It is Wraith 1, Alloa 0, St Johnstone, who are the championship leaders, lead Cove Rangers by 1-0. Stenhousemuir very comfortable at the break there in League 1. Clack McCuddin are in the 5th tier. That all right, Kenny?
That's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Stenhousemuir lead that by 4-0, and Stranraer 1, Clydebank 0.
Are you free to conduct the 4th round draw on Sunday, Mark?
Me and Rod Stewart. Perfect. Gloucester 14, Harlequins 12 in Premiership Rugby at the break. Thank you, Kenny. And Molly Stevens is watching Wales against South Africa.
I am indeed. Wales nilled at the break by the world champions, who are 4 tries to the good. I could talk you through every try. One from Steenkamp, one from Hooker, one from Viese, one from Vandenberg on the stroke of half-time. But to summarise, it's boys against men here at the Principality, which is probably no surprise given that Wales have fielded a very young team, but South Africa just running the show. Flair, power, enthusiasm for the game, organisation, just all over Wales at the moment. It's going to be a difficult second half for Steve Tandy's men in their last international game here of the year. It's Wales 0, South Africa 28.
2 minutes past 4, Giuliano Cassidy with the BBC News.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has called for unity at the first conference of his new party. The left-wing movement, known as Your Party, has seen different factions falling out with each other, and today the party's co-founder Zara Sultana refused to enter the main conference in Liverpool, saying some of her supporters had been expelled over alleged membership of the Socialist Workers' Party. President Trump says the airspace above and around Venezuela is to be completely closed to combat drug trafficking. In a post on social media, the president issued a warning to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers and human traffickers. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, says she wants to root out waste after saying asylum seekers would no longer be able to get minicabs paid for by the taxpayer. She said the practice would end by February with only some exemptions. And officials in Ukraine say another night of intense Russian drone and missile attacks has left 3 people dead and around 30 wounded. Some 600,000 homes in and around Kyiv were left without power.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Full commentary to come at 5:30 of Everton against Newcastle here on 5 Live. Spurs against Fulham is at 8 o'clock. The goals on the iPlayer from 8 o'clock, the extended highlights and the analysis with Gabby and Joe Hart and Danny Murphy on Match of the Day at 10:25 on BBC One. In the 3 o'clock games, Brentford and Burnley are goalless. Sunderland are 2-1 up at home to Bournemouth. Manchester City very comfortable at home to Leeds. They lead by 2-0. Let's return to the Etihad and Chris Sutton and Dennis Ian.
Thank you, Chapman Mark. As Leeds United, that's just thrown me. Leeds United are making a double change. So Jakub Biol, who's a defender, a Slovenian international central defender, is coming on for Nonto, and Calvert-Lewin is coming on for Dan James.
So the two wide players, Leeds wide players from the first half, taken off. It looks like Leeds will go to three centre-halves. Biol will slot in alongside Roden and Strauch, and he'll play two up top.
Which would suggest that they're going to try and salvage something from the game?
Well, they struggled to get up the pitch in the first half, didn't they? And that was the whole point of Daniel James and Wilfred Nonto getting the start, but they weren't able to get up the pitch. So different tactic from Daniel Farke. Maybe he'll go a little bit more direct into Dominic Calvert-Lewin, two up top, and hope the two strikers can link up together.
Calvert-Lewin then makes his 250th Premier League career appearance. They're the two changes. Leeds now have Perry in goal, Bogle, Strauch, Rodon, Justin, and Biol, Ampadu, Tanaka, Grueff, Mecha and Calvert-Lewin as we're back underway. They're playing in their all-black. They're playing from left to right as we look, as the rain has returned. Teeming down here in Manchester against a Manchester City side. And there's no sign of any blue skies today. Sky blue shirts and white shorts from right to left, with Donnarumma in goal, a back four of Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol and O'Reilly, Gonzalez, Reinders, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Haaland and Doku. Huddersfield Town have equalised at home to Wimbledon. That's 1-1. That didn't last long. In fact, as I look down the video printer, Wimbledon are back in front. Huddersfield 1, AFC Wimbledon 2 in League One. And you're up to date with the goals as they go in. BBC Radio 5 Live on Sports Extra. We've got Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2. Manchester City are in here. This is Haaland with a sight of goal. And then the assistant referee looks to the referee, and Peter Banks says that will be a goal kick, as we will go to Sunderland and Chris Coles.
Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2, second half just about to get underway. No changes, but if the second half is anything like the first half, then we're in for a real treat. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2.
West Brom 1, Swansea City 2. West Brom have got a goal back. The original instruction was to go to Brentford. Here is John.
Thought it might have been. Brentford 0, Burnley 0, but a great early chance for Brentford. Aaron Hickey, left of the area, 12 yards out, unmarked, got it horribly wrong, high and wide. Here's Ouattara now, saved by the goalkeeper. Back to Thiago! And Thiago scored, but a flag goes up. They will check it. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Keeper's in touch then with that VAR check. Not too sure who reacted quickest, the studio manager or Chris Coles, for that impromptu update from the Stadium of Light, Chris.
Absolutely. Here we are back at the Etihad. Free kick for Leeds. Have a bit more physicality with Biol and Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
He'll break it out into commentary. He'll be hosting the Commentators' View podcast next. Here comes then the free kick for Leeds United. Hoisted high from that left-hand side. Donnarumma has come a long way. He's fisted it out. Leeds United try and send it goalward through Ampadu. That was blocked. And Manchester City get the ball away, and then they get a free kick.
I mean, what was Donnarumma doing? When you have fists as big as his, how can you actually miss the ball? He does do, and there's a chance there for a second for Leeds United, and they don't take it.
No, they don't. As we go back to Brentford and John Southall.
And it remains 0-0 against Burnley. Brentford 0, Burnley 0. Thiago does not have his 10th goal of the season. Rifled it into the roof of the net, but the flag up for offside, and it remains Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Talking of big fists, it's a reminder that the boxing is back on BBC primetime television for the first time in 20 years tonight. 8 o'clock, BBC 2, the British heavyweight title. Fraser Clark against Jamie TKB, which actually got a mention on the TCV, the Commentators' View podcast, which you can get on the 5 Live Football Daily feed.
There are other podcasts.
Are you feeling
BBC Sounds? I'm just saying there are other podcasts. That's the third time.
Are you feeling threatened?
There must be a limit, though, the amount of times you can mention one particular podcast.
We record it every Friday. Normally we'll drop it every Friday afternoon with John Murray and Alistair Bruce Ball. Here's Leeds United building from the back. They trail by 2-0. This is Biol, a rare appearance since he arrived for £15 million from Udinese. It's only his 5th appearance for the club. The ball is chipped forward by Bogle, and then able to turn and clear the ball away as Nunes actually gives it away. Opportunity for Calvert-Lewin, and Calvert-Lewin scores! Well, out of absolutely nothing, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has reduced the arrears. It was the Mateus Nunes mistake. It then fell fortuitously to Calvert-Lewin after his pirouette didn't quite come off. But without any hesitation, he slots the ball in, right-footed into the bottom left-hand corner. And Leeds United have got a goal back. Manchester City 2, Leeds United 1.
Well, Daniel Farke is often criticised for not being proactive enough with his substitutions. The one he brought on at half-time today, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, gets them back in it. He's onside initially from the run. I didn't think there was any need to pirouette. He did do, but then dreadful from Nunes, a dreadful mistake from him, and Calvert-Lewin gets a goal back. Easy finish for him, 8 yards out, just slides it past Donnarumma. Leeds back in this from nowhere.
Well, he's certainly no Max Dowman. You might have seen his goal in the UEFA Youth League in the midweek, where he pirouetted and then scored the ball with a plum for Arsenal at Boreham Wood. All I would say is that the Calvert-Lewin pirouette foxed the Manchester City defenders, who presented it back towards the England international, and he needed no second invitation.
He didn't. It was nonsense from Nunes. What was he thinking? Trying to dribble round Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He just popped the ball to him. Oh, and there he goes in. Calvert-Lewin sliding there on the Manchester City goalkeeper. All of a sudden, Leeds United from nowhere back in this.
Doncaster Rovers 2, Peterborough United 1 is the latest score in League One. You're up to date. Pep looks perplexed.
He does, puzzled, perplexed. He'll be angry more than anything. It was so comfortable, wasn't it, that first half? But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a change of formation from Daniel Farke.
Apoplectic Pep?
I think so. Why wouldn't he be? I would be. Well, when it's been that easy. It's always about the next goal. How many times you say it at 2-0? Whoever gets the next goal.
Well, there's been another goal at the Stadium of Light. It was Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2. Who's got it? Chris Coles.
Sunderland have it, an equaliser. Bertrand Traore 1 minute into the second half. Bournemouth sleeping. The ball forced to Traore inside the penalty area. Snapshot with his left foot, beats Petrovic at the front post. Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2.
Incredible, this game of football. That's live on Sports Extra. Manchester City were coasting at half-time. They then gift away a goal, and then all of a sudden they just look a little bit rattled, because now they've conceded a throw on this near side, the right. And Leeds United, with their supporters in the rain singing Marching On Together, are now thinking, well, hold on, we might still get something out of it. They're 2-1 down. You're listening to 5 Live on the World Service. Ampadu with a long throw from the right, flicked on by Biol and then clattered away by Bernardo Silva. The accusation about Daniel Farke is that sometimes he leaves his substitution too late. Normally it tends to be around 60-65 minutes. He made a double change at half-time, and who knows, he might have got some sort of a response from it.
Well, he has done. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who he put on, proactive, getting the goal. They look more of a threat. They're going direct into Calvert-Lewin. Metcha playing off him. He's the pace. Calvert-Lewin is the one to hit, and we know he's athletic. He's got a tremendous leap, hasn't he? We were talking earlier, weren't we, about he just wondered whether he'd ever recover the form which he once had at Everton.
West Bromwich Albion, who were 2-0 down at home to Swansea, have now levelled at the Hawthorns. West Brom 2, Swansea 2, Salford 2, Crawley 1, and we're going back to Chris Coles at Sunderland.
It's still Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2, but Bournemouth had the ball in the Sunderland net straight after Sunderland's equaliser. Evan Nilsson tapped in at the front post after Semenyo's cross. He is offside. If he'd left it, it was probably going in anyway. Still Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2.
Colchester United 2, Cheltenham 0 is the latest score in League 2. You're up to date. Brentford 0, Burnley 0, Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2. Commentary on Sports Extra. We've got Everton Newcastle to come after Sports Report at 5:30. We'll keep you in touch with Tottenham against Fulham at 8. As the ball goes long, Bogle scampers after it. Gvardiol forced to retreat and gets there first. Gvardiol keeps the ball in play back towards Donnarumma. First time clearance by Donnarumma. Up towards Doku. Doku keeps his balance. All of a sudden we've got a game on here now as Manchester City get the ball out to Nunes. And Nunes will come forward and Bernardo Silva has the ball back as he inches his way towards the halfway line. 8.5 minutes into this contest in the second half. Pep Linders has a word in the right ear of Pep Guardiola, who just leans and cocks his head back slightly in that technical area and then strolls with two or three strides as Foden can't get the ball to Haaland. He's been quiet, hasn't he, Haaland?
Well, he has been, but he hasn't had the service in the second half. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, what a turn.
Calvert-Lewin's away. Leeds United playing with a little bit more encouragement and confidence, and because of the introduction of Calvert-Lewin, who whips up the travelling support, Leeds United get a free kick a matter of yards away from the left corner of the area as they trail by 2-1.
Well, first of all, it's a brilliant turn from Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the halfway line, gets away from Nunes, who recovers, but shoulder to shoulder. The referee deems that a free kick. I think it's a 50-50 one there, and I think Manchester City are hard done by. But Manchester City, in this second half, they have not found their rhythm. They have not hit the straps, and it's Leeds who look the more likely to get another goal back.
Vociferous backing. Nunes shown a yellow card by referee Peter Banks. So taking this free kick is Ilya Gruev, the Bulgarian. Not far away from that left corner of the penalty area. Every sky blue shirt back inside the penalty box. Donnarumma waits. All in pink in his 6-yard area. Gruev now delivers it. Strauk and Roden were up from the back. Underarm throw out by Donnarumma. Doku, a dancing Doku, gets over one challenge, and then was he bundled over by Roden? The referee says not. The City supporters aren't happy. The City bench aren't happy. Did you think there was anything in that, Chris?
Well, I think Joe Roden clearly not happy. He thought the dangerous Doku in the first half went to ground too easily. So did I.
Here is Mecha making that run forward, right side of the area, then gives the ball away, actually presents it to Gvardiol. There's been a goal at Millwall in the Championship, Mark Scott.
And it's gone the way of Southampton. The smash and grab could be on for the Saints. They were second best in the first half, but have the lead early in the second. Harwood Bellis fouled by Cooper in the area. Adam Armstrong with a great penalty. Millwall 0, Southampton 1.
They're looking for 5 successive wins. Cambridge 0, Crewe 1 is the latest score in League 2, and Salford 2, Crawley 2 is now another latest score, as Leeds United have been awarded a free kick. And I think, is it Bernardo Silva, has just been shown a yellow card. So 2 Manchester City players in a matter of no time booked by a referee, Peter Banks.
They're just getting rattled, aren't they, Manchester City? The changes for Leeds and the change of formation has impacted the game, and you sense the frustration within the stadium. And Donnarumma is sat down.
Donnarumma's gone down. Looks to have an issue with his right leg at the moment, and the physios are called for. And all the Manchester City players have been summoned over by Pep Guardiola. He's clear to get some instructions to his outfield players whilst Donnarumma gets treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a good look for Donnarumma, but yep, Pep got his tactics board out, I think.
You don't think it's a tactical timeout, do you, for Donnarumma?
I think that was it the clearance with his left foot? I don't know whether that was a little bit awkward. It doesn't look like he's comfortable with that left foot, but getting treatment on his right knee.
Sheffield Wednesday have conceded. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 2, Plymouth 0, Northampton 1. You're up to date as we go to Chris Coles at the Stadium of Light.
Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2. This is such a good game. Every time one side comes forward, you fancy them to score. Bournemouth now back in the ascendancy. Antoine Semenyo beginning to look dangerous. A couple of terrific crosses from the left. Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2.
Preston without a win in 3, Naz, but they are now at least level.
Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 2. Simple corner routine. Lewis Dobbin with a header about a yard out. He couldn't miss. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 2.
Approaching the hour mark on BBC Radio 5 Live. Manchester City 2, Leeds United 1. And a goal at Chesterfield in League 2, Niall McCorn.
And it's gone the way of Swindon Town. Swindon 2, Chesterfield 1, driven in from the edge of the box by Joe Snowden after the goalkeeper only half-punched clear a corner. It's a goal which takes Swindon top of the as it stands League 2 table. Chesterfield 1, Swindon Town 2.
That's because Walsall are still trailing at home by a 1-0 to third place Bromley. as we will go to the Rugby Union and Molly Stevens.
And the world champions pick up the second half where they left off, in total control. Their 5th try scored by Franco Mostert, and Wales just hardly touching the ball here at the Principality Stadium. Wales 0, South Africa 35.
Thank you, Molly. Commentaries on Sports Extra 3. Metja gives chase, Diaz clears, Nunes hurriedly passes the ball back towards Donnarumma. All of a sudden, Leeds United now are just putting a little bit more pressure on Manchester City.
Well, they are, but they're winning they're going direct into Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Metja and winning the second balls.
They look a different team, do Leeds. They're passing the ball a little quicker as Rodon runs back. They've certainly had a little bit of a pick-me-up, haven't they, at half-time, as Perry clears only as far as Gonzalez. Gonzalez battling for it, closed down quickly by the Leeds players, unfairly so, and Gonzalez might have just taken a little knock to the hip. In fact, it's his left thigh, as Huddersfield Town have equalised at home to AFC Wimbledon. For a second time they've equalised in West Yorkshire today in League One. Huddersfield Town 2, Wimbledon 2. An hour played, 2-1 to City.
Yeah, if you're Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, you just want to get a foothold in this second half. It's been Leeds who have been the more potent, the better team in the second half, but that's all down to Daniel Farke and that tactical change.
That's the voice of Chris Sutton on BBC Radio 5 Live. He'll be taking your calls after our next commentary of Everton-Newcastle, which is at 5:30. It's the dream team tonight, Ali Bruce Ball and Chris Sutton. 08085909693. As Doku into the area, stopped by Tanaka. Tanaka clears now for Leeds. Can he pick out Calvert-Lewin, Gvardiol? And can't get there. Leeds will get a throw. His presence has made a difference.
Well, it has. And, you know, we spoke about the possibility of starting Dominic Calvert-Lewin in terms of a player to hit a focal point, someone to play off. He certainly offered that in this, first 15, 17 minutes of the second half. Leeds look a threat, don't they? They've got the goal. They look more of a threat. In the first half, the truth is they were powder puff.
Bernardo Silva back with Diaz. Mentioned that commentary at 5:30. Here's the team news from Mike Minay.
To make 2 changes, with Coleman missing out, Idrissa Gueye suspended following that red card for hitting his own teammate in the win over Manchester United. So Jake O'Brien and Tim Irabunam in. Newcastle make 6 changes, including in goal. Nick Pope placed on the bench after his error in midweek. Aaron Ramsdale therefore starts for the first time this season in the Premier League. If only we had a former goalkeeper to discuss that with in commentary. Oh wait, we do. Paul Robinson with me from 5:30.
Yeah, the former Leeds United and England keeper Paul Robinson with Mike. That'll be after Sports Report. Newport County 2, Barrow 1. Newport are in front. Phil Foden picks up the ball right-hand side, almost midway through the Leeds half. Light rain continues to fall here at the Etihad. Here is Nunes, back with Bernardo Silva. 62 minutes played. Runs forward on that right touchline, in towards Foden, able to turn. Now, as it just bobbles up a little bit, popped up towards Gvardiol. The Croatian international out towards Doku on this near side, the left. Calvert-Lewin back on defensive duties, stands in front of him. Doku shifts it on the outside, sends over the cross, too deep. Bernardo Silva, though, will collect it, keeps the ball in play on the right-hand side. Back now towards Foden. Foden looks for a little cute ball along the ground towards Reinders, but Leeds United were aware of it. Grueff had tracked the run and clears, but only as far as Nunes. Forward, Foden along the ground, 30 yards out from goal. Short forward ball, touched out towards Bernardo Silva on the right. Foden wanders, Reinders turns inside the area, shoots outside of the boot, blocked, comes out towards Gonzalez, now towards Doku. Doku has the run of O'Reilly going ahead of him. Doku strikes the chest of Tanaka and leads with Tanaka, toe ends it away from Tanaka, and now all of a sudden it's Metja, who's got 3 sky blue shirts around him and actually does well with the back heel to get a throw off the shins of O'Reilly.
He did really well. I've got to say, Bogle has played Jeremy Doku really well in 1v1 situations, but Metja did well. Won his team the throw, and as there's an injury to a Leeds player. James Justin down on the turf, but no, Leeds are right back in this. They've been courageous, haven't they, the way they've played in the second half. Didn't see any of that in the first half. Daniel Farke will be fancying this.
Laurent Tolai has been sent off for Plymouth Argyle. in League One. So they are down to 10 at Home Park, as they are actually still trailing to Kevin Nolan's Northampton Town. So Plymouth 0, Northampton 1. Stoppage in play then here with Manchester City 2, Leeds United 1. And it's James Justin who is down. So we'll go to Brentford and John Southall.
We played 67 minutes, Brentford 0, Burnley 0. It's ebbing and flowing, this game. We've had Wataru with a header wide. Thiago smashed one over the crossbar, but the flag was up. It is still anybody's, this. Brentford 0, Burnley 0.
Top of the table clash at the Bescot. There's been a goal. Nikesh Regani in League 2.
And a big one for Walsall, who have equalised. Walsall 1, Bromley 1. Daniel Kanu latching on to a header down from a free kick from outside the area, a couple of yards out, couldn't really miss. Walsall 1, Bromley 1.
Leeds United voices that you can hear inside the Etihad. Incidentally, their central defender Joe Rodon has been booked as we go to Coventry, the Championship League leaders, with Charlie Slater.
An hour gone, Coventry still leading Charlton by 2-1, but Charlton throwing everything at trying to get an equaliser. Sonny Carey firing over from around 18 yards out just a few moments ago. The league leaders still leading by 2-1.
Back to the rugby, Molly.
Well, it's quite unbelievable here. Wales 0, Springboks 49, and it's getting worse for Wales quickly. Their number 8, Aaron Wainwright, has been taken off injured. Tane Plumtree is sent to the sin bin for an infringement in the build-up to the 5th Springboks try, and since then they've scored another. It's one-way traffic here at the Principality Stadium. It's Wales 0, South Africa 49.
Leeds United on the attack. That could be a penalty. The referee has given a penalty to Leeds United. It was a clumsy challenge by Gvardiol on Calvert-Lewin, and without any hesitation, Peter Banks has pointed to the spot, and Leeds United have a chance to level it at 2-2. Gvardiol has been booked.
Well, there we are, one long ball from Perry. Calvert-Lewin lets the ball run in behind him, challenges his centre-half. Bogle pops the ball forward, and Gvardiol just comes across Dominic Calvert-Lewin and takes him out, nowhere near the ball. It's a clear penalty, it is. I don't know what Gvardiol is thinking of. He isn't thinking. That is a ridiculous challenge. And what a chance. Nobody saw this at 2-0, Manchester City cruising in at half-time. And all of a sudden, Leeds have the opportunity to go level.
Calvert-Lewin has transformed Leeds United. His willingness, his running. They are checking the VAR, incidentally. That's why the ball is currently no longer on the spot.
What are they checking?
Well,
I mean, you know, as a challenge, that's as clear cut as you'll see it. You know, it really is. I think Statman Dave said before the game about his physicality. He has that presence. You just got to go into him long, use him as a focal point. And he has been brilliant. He's been a game changer.
They were about to make a change as well, were Leeds. They were going to replace James Justin for Gabriel Gudmundsson. But meanwhile, the ball is being placed on the spot. And this is Mecha, the former Manchester City player. He began his career at the Etihad. It's a chance to score 3-3. He waits, hands on hips, up against Donnarumma, all in pink. Stuttering run up from Mecha, right-footed save by Donnarumma, but the rebound is tucked in by Mecha. He does make it 3-3, and Leeds United, who were 2-0 down, have fought back to 2-2, and what a story at the Etihad.
What a game. Lame Leeds in the first half, lethal Leeds in the second half. And Mecha, I've got to say, looking at his face before he took the penalty, he looked nervous. Donnarumma guessed right, but all he did is parried the ball back into his path. He couldn't miss the rebound, Mecha. We've got a game on here now.
Absolutely incredible. Mecha with the goal. His 4th of the season. Only made those 3 substitute appearances during his time for Manchester City. But he has come back to haunt his former club. Simmons has been sent off for Bolton Wanderers. They're still leading at Luton Town by a 0-0. Burton Albion 0, Leyton Orient 3. In fact, we can hear news of that dismissal at Kenilworth Road from Mike Williams.
Straight red for Simmons. Bolton's summer signing for a crunching tackle on the Luton substitute Kodo, who hit the deck. The referee, no hesitation in showing that red. So Bolton, who still lead here by a goal to nil, will have to defend the last 18 minutes with 10 men. Luton 0, Bolton 1.
Rotherham United unbeaten in 8 have equalised at home to Wycombe. Rotherham 1, Wycombe 1. Huddersfield 2, Wimbledon 3 is the latest score, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. Well, who really would have thought this at half-time? Because Leeds United were breezing. However, it is Manchester City were breezing, but Leeds United have just come back and have now levelled at 2-2. Quite remarkable. Shrewsbury 3, Gillingham 2 is the latest score. And Manchester City now with a cross. Haaland goes away from him, out for a goal kick. Another goal at Millwall, Mark Scott.
Femi Aziz with a deserved leveller for Millwall, drilling a brilliant low drive in from just outside the area. Saints are pegged back. It's Millwall 1, Southampton 1.
And a goal at Cardiff, Laura Kenyon.
Cardiff 2, Mansfield 0. Cardiff top of the league as things stand. Yusuf Salik heading home, cross from the far side, his 8th of the season. Cardiff 2, Mansfield 0.
Well, for a manager who's under pressure, his players have given the perfect response to any critics.
Absolutely, they've been really courageous. They've just been direct. That's been the difference in the second half. Got the ball forward quickly. Can they carry on being brave enough, though?
Doku now, back all square at 2-2. Doku held up by Bogle.
I mentioned that duel, fascinating duel. Bogle has played him superbly. Doku's so good in those 1v1 situations. I mean, just imagine if Leeds can get another goal in this and win the game. Not impossible now.
No, it's
but
not.
That being a turning point in the season for Daniel Farke, under pressure, people talking. I think that's nonsense, really, for him to be under pressure. They've had a reasonable start to the season.
There is activity on the Manchester City bench down below as the ball is cleared by Perry, headed away by Nunes, up towards Doku, tries to touch it on the inside to Haaland, shrugged off by Ampadu. Talk about the change in Leeds United, not just in the way that they're attacking as well, but the way that they're actually working off the ball as well. In comparison, they were quite passive in the first half, weren't they?
Absolutely, in that central midfield area especially. Now they're winning every challenge.
Here is Bogle, Metcha. There is a belief now about these Leeds United players. 18 minutes remaining. And Manchester City, who came into this game on the back of back-to-back defeats against Newcastle and Bayer Leverkusen, who were coasting at the break, are calling for a spark from Cherki, who's going to replace Reinders, as Pep Guardiola looks to try and see his side get back in front. Salford City 2, Crawley 3 is the latest score. What's the latest at Sunderland? Chris Coles.
Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2 in the torrential Stadium of Light Rain. A triple change for Sunderland as they look to complete the comeback. Mundell, Brobby and Hume on for Traore, Isidore and Talby. Brobby involved in a goalmouth scramble a couple of moments ago. Still Sunderland 2, Bournemouth 2.
Match of the day tonight, BBC 1, 25 past 10. As it goes back towards Perry, all in orange, clears it long, downfield, out towards Calvert-Lewin. Handled by Gvardiol on this occasion. Forward ball to Gonzalez. Square ball. Referee does the step over on that occasion. And now it's with Bernardo Silva running forward. Seemed at times in the first half they were just playing within themselves. Now there's a lot more urgency from Manchester City. Foden sends over the cross. Haaland's header. Oh, and Roden had to nick it away. There's a scramble. Was Bernardo Silva tripped inside the box there? Leeds United are able to get the ball away. There was... we had panic attack winning the Coral Gold Cup. There were panic stations at the back there.
It's all happening. Who's down there?
City are attacking. Foden to Doku. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Doku towards the byline, drills it in low. Perry can't keep it out. Might fall towards Haaland. There was a slice clearance at the far post and somehow it goes behind for a corner kick. By hook or by crook, they are keeping City at bay on that occasion.
That's probably the worst clearance I've ever seen from a player, ever. Ball from Doku on the left-hand side, fires the ball across, and as Perry with his left hand just pops the ball up, and at the far post it's Strauch, who, off his right shin, somehow clears the ball behind him, and wide for a Manchester City corner. How did he do that?
But you're right, because what it did, nobody knew where the ball was going to spin to, and it deceived everybody. In all of the mayhem and the chaos, I've forgotten where we're going to go next, because they're waiting to take the corner kick, but a lot of the players are actually surrounding referee Peter Banks, still waiting for Cherky to come on.
Are they asking for a penalty for the Bernardo Silva incident?
Yes.
Did he go down?
Whilst they're checking this, the goal at Sunderland, Chris Coles.
From 2-0 down, Sunderland now lead 3-2, and it's Brian Brobby off the bench to head in a corner. The Stadium of Light erupts, and Sunderland hit the front. Sunderland 3, Bournemouth 2.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Cherky's going to come on to replace Reinders now, and that was what the check was for. Again, inside the stadium, you're none the wiser.
No. Well, I've got to say, I thought Bernardo Silva dived there to try and win the penalty. Simulation there from an influential player for Manchester City. Went down too easily, maybe a contender for...
Don't tell me you're going to say he's better than that.
He is better than that, Ian.
Plymouth 0, Northampton Town 2. Plymouth are down to 10 men. That's the latest score at home park. We've got 15 minutes remaining. We'll rattle through all the divisions very, very soon for you. As we wind our way towards Sports Report, in comes the corner kick, doesn't beat the first man. Goodmanson is able to knock it back towards Foden on the City right. 2-2. Foden now delivers another cross. It's a deep one into the area. Headed out by Metcher. Drops towards Doku. Plays it back. This is Cherky. He goes towards Nunes. Forward of the centre circle. Back then with Cherky, in it goes, flicked on by Gvardiol. That will be a goal kick as we will go to Middlesbrough, Derby County. Shojo Saka.
Middlesbrough 1, Derby 1, deserved equaliser for Borough. First goal under Kim Hellberg. It's Matt Targett with a header into the top of the net after a corner. Borough 1, Derby 1.
Hearts, who are 4 points clear of Celtic, are still drawing at Motherwell 0-0. Dundee are leading St Mirren by 2-1. 5:45 kick-off at Rugby Park is Kilmarnock against Dundee United. Celtic are at Hibs tomorrow. In League 2, the two results: Accrington Stanley beat Oldham by 1-0. MK Dons 2, Fleetwood 1. I'll give you the latest scores after we've heard of a goal at Hillsborough. Naz Premji.
Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston 3. It was after Charlie McNeil missed a penalty for Wednesday to go 3-2. They've gone up the other end and sub Frockyar into the bottom corner from distance. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 3.
Just over 13 minutes remain here at the Etihad, 2-2. If you've been listening to the first half, you'll be incredulous the way that Leeds United have come back. However, they've deserved to come back. On the right-hand side, now with Cherky, the Manchester City substitute. Back then with Cherky once again. Leeds United have got every black shirt back behind the ball. Burton Albion 0, Leyton Orient 4 is the latest score in League 1. Still got those latest scores in League 2 to give you as Nunes comes forward. Foden with a layoff. This is an opportunity for Manchester City, but it just drops away from Bernardo Silva. John Southall at Brentford Burnley.
Penalty for Brentford. Brentford 0, Burnley 0. This is a test of nerve for Igor Thiago. Missed the penalty in added time at Brighton last weekend. Steps up. This time he goes to the left. And this time he scores. And this time Brentford lead Burnley by 1-0.
That could be 4 straight defeats for Burnley inside the relegation zone. Riley's cross has absolutely floored Ampadu. Ampadu is knocked to the floor. The referee's got to stop play. Caught him full on in the face as he's rocked onto his back inside the penalty area.
Yeah, he's had a really strong second half. Ampadu, hasn't he? He anticipates the cross brilliantly, and unfortunately for him, catches him, as you said, Ian, full on in the face. That's a sore one for him. Brilliant defending, though.
We'll take advantage of that to rattle through the latest scores in League 2. Barnet lead Harrogate Town by 1-0. That could be no win in 8. Bristol Rovers 0, Notts County 0. Notts County down to 10 men in the first half. Cambridge 0, Crewe 1. Chesterfield 1, Swindon Town 2. Swindon unbeaten, it could be in 6 games. Colchester 2, Cheltenham 0. Newport lead Barrow by 2-1. Salford City 0, Crawley 3. Shrewsbury lead Gillingham by 3-2 as they look to make it 4 successive home wins. And the leaders Walsall 1, Bromley 1 is the latest score at the Bescott Stadium. In League 1, the 2 results earlier: Blackpool 0, Reading 3. Their first away win in League 1 of the season for Reading. and Stockport 1, Barnsley 1 is how it finished at Edgeley Park. These are the latest scores. Bradford City still lead Exeter City by a goal to nil. Burton Albion 0, Leyton Orient 4, Cardiff 2, Mansfield 0, Doncaster Rovers 2, Peterborough United 1, Doncaster without a win in 10 before today. Huddersfield 2, Wimbledon 3, Lincoln lead Port Vale by a goal to nil. Bolton Wanderers down to 10 men, still leading at Kenilworth Road. Luton 0, Bolton 1, Plymouth, who are down to 10 men, 0, Northampton Town 3, Rotherham 1, Wycombe 1, and Wigan 0, Stevenage the leaders 0. Ampadu, after getting lengthy treatment, is going to, I would imagine, have to leave the field of play.
And of course that's not ideal for Leeds United. He's been the play, just sitting in front of that back three, breaking the play up, so they'll want him back on as quickly as possible.
Another goal at Millwall, Mark Scott. Millwall 2, Southampton 1, I can tell you, is that latest score at the Den. As Manchester City now with Gonzalez, play back underway, and Purdue waits to come back on. We've got just over 10 minutes remaining of normal time, and it's 2-2. Doku down the near side the left, back towards Gvardiol. Gvardiol plays a cute ball in towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly can't, just crowded out by Leeds United defenders, comes towards Doku, down the left-hand side, sends over the cross, headed away by Calvert-Lewin on defensive duties, flick header away by Tanaka, stabbed back by Foden to Bernardo Silva. Backs to the wall now for Leeds United, in and around their own penalty area. Nobody's leaving early here at the Etihad today, 2-2 with under 10 minutes remaining. Foden patiently passes the ball towards Gvardiol, lays it off towards Gonzalez. He chips the ball forward. Nunes has made the run round the back, goes behind for a corner. We'll try again with Mark Scott.
And it's 2-1 to Millwall. They've turned it around. Caleb Taylor, the centre-back with a striker. Centre-forward would be proud of 25 yards out into the top corner. Millwall heading second. Millwall 2, Southampton 1.
Harrogate have equalised at Barnet. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1. The results in the Championship earlier: Leicester City 2, Sheffield United 3. 3 successive wins as Chris Wilder works his magic for the Blades. Portsmouth 0, Bristol City 1, Stoke City 1, Hull City 2 with the results. These are the latest scores. Coventry, the leaders, 2, Charlton 1. Elsewhere, Middlesbrough 1, Derby 1, Millwall 2, Southampton 1, as we've just heard. Norwich 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1. That could be a first win in 14. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 3, West Bromwich Albion, who were 2-0 down, have levelled at 2-2 at the Hawthorns against Swansea City, and Wrexham 0, Blackburn Rovers 1 remains the latest score from the racecourse ground. Back to John Southall at Brentford.
It's now a Burnley penalty here. Brentford 1, Burnley 0, and it's Zion Fleming just about to step up and take it, and he's rolled it into the bottom right-hand corner, and what an important goal that could be for Burnley at the bottom end of the Premier League. Brentford 1, Burnley 1.
BBC Radio 5 live in the World Service. It's going to be a hectic 8 minutes that remain at 2-2. Because Chris Sutton, this could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. And there we go. Long ball again up to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okafor, the sub who's come on for Metcha. He needs to play in and around him, work off his knockdowns. But Leeds, what a second half this has been for them.
Walsall have come from behind. They lead Bromley by 2-1. Despite Swindon being ahead at Chesterfield, Walsall, as it stands, will remain top of League 2. Newport County 2, Barrow 2 is the latest score, also in League 2. We're going to Coventry in a moment, but Leeds United 2-2. Have a throw on that far side, the left. It's going to be a long one in front of that travelling support, flanked by stewards in luminous jackets. O'Reilly beaten to the ball by Tanaka. Tanaka, right-hand side of the area, sends over the cross, and it was Haaland who had to head the ball away inside his 6-yard area. Cherky will follow it further clear. So Charlie Slater at Coventry.
8 minutes on the clock, and it's Coventry 3, Charlton 1. As it stands, Coventry are going 12 points clear at the top of the Championship. Ellis Sims again, this one a tap-in. 4 goals in 2 games for him. 3-1 Coventry.
Luton 1, Bolton 1 is the latest score in League 1. Huddersfield 3, Wimbledon 3, and it is all happening at Brentford, John Southall.
What a 10 minutes we've had here. Brentford 2, Burnley 1. It had to be Igor Thiago again on the left of the 6-yard box into the roof of the net. That's his 11th league goal of the season. He's only 3 behind Haaland, and Brentford lead Burnley by 2-1.
Okafor is going to be coming on to replace Metcha for Leeds United, who get a corner kick. 2-2 with under 7 minutes remaining.
Okafor is on.
That change happened. OK, told it's all happening. All happening there, all happening here.
It's mayhem, isn't it? This second half has been incredible. It's a classic game of 2 halves. As Manchester City hanging on in here now.
Leeds United corner kick near side the right. Every sky blue shirt back inside the penalty area. 6 minutes remain of normal time. Manchester City were 2-0 up at the break. Leeds United, though, with a resurgent second half performance, have pegged them back. Now they have their hearts set on a dramatic winner. In comes the corner. Haaland climbs to head it away. Tanaka back towards Grueff, lets the ball settle, delivers the cross, blocked by Núñez. Leeds United throw 10 yards up from the corner flag as they attack on this near side the right. West Bromwich Albion 3, Swansea City 2 is the latest score in the Championship.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Manchester City, that they don't have an attacking player up the pitch. Every one of their players back defending inside the box.
Salford 3, Crawley 3 is the latest score in League 2. Ampadu wiping off the ball, making it dry, get a good grip. In it comes now on the right-hand side. Calvert-Lewin is the target, comes back towards Ampadu, touches the ball past Doku. Ampadu stopped by the second City player, that was Gonzalez. Doku picks up the loose ball. Calvert-Lewin there is back. Leeds United now going to throw. They've been far sharper, they've competed much better, Leeds.
Well, they have done, but they've changed tactic, they've gone direct. Big striker comes on, somebody to hit. He's been the difference, hasn't he, Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
Millwall 2, Southampton 2 is the latest score. Middlesbrough 2, Derby 1, Cambridge 1, Crewe 1 are latest scores. And we're up to date. Salford 4, Crawley 3 is the latest score now. In comes Ampadu, long throw. Off the head of O'Reilly, will come back towards the Welsh international. That's good distance on that header in towards the penalty area for Manchester City. Foden stumbles, Goodmanson is there, his effort is cleared. Headed away by Núñez, flick back on, Calvert-Lewin. Flag has stayed down for the time being. Calvert-Lewin, does he win a corner? Now the late flag is raised, and we can finally hear of that second Walsall goal from Nikesh Rugani.
Yeah, Walsall 2, Bromley 1. It was a corner from the right, bit of head tennis in the area. Eventually, Ryan Finnegan heading home to complete a brilliant Walsall comeback in this second half. It's been yo-yo in the top 4 in League 2, but at the moment, Walsall staying top. Walsall 2, Bromley 1.
Calvert-Lewin chases a lost cause, keeps the ball in play. It wasn't a lost cause after all. Delivers the cross, required Gvardiol to head it away. Leeds United though now with Grueff back towards Ampadu, chips the ball to Calvert-Lewin, flags up, it'll be a free kick. And the Middlesbrough goal means that Coventry's lead will still be 10 points at the top of the Championship. Shojo Saka.
Middlesbrough 2, Derby 1. Borough's persistence pays off. Morgan Whittaker with a left-footed shot from 20 yards, curling into the far corner. Borough on their way to victory under Kim Hellberg in his first match. Borough 2, Derby 1.
Bristol Rovers 0, Notts County 1 is the latest score in League 2. So a late goal for Notts County in League 2, and they are going to make another change. Marmouche is going to be coming on, 3.5 minutes remaining. Dundee 3, St Mirren 1. Where will we go next on 5 Live? Mark Scott.
Finn Azaz, the in-form Irish international, has levelled for Southampton with minutes left to play. Millwall will be kicking themselves. They've dominated, but it's now Millwall 2, Southampton 2.
That might well stop the winning run for Southampton. Omar Mamouche waits to come on. Manchester City have 3 minutes to get a late goal. Ball with the outside of the left boot. Eventually reaches Doku. Has to retreat a little bit to collect it. Now runs forward down this touchline on the near left-hand side. Bogle stands in front of him. Gvardiol behind him provides the support for the sky blue shirts. 2-2 here on 5 Live in the World Service. Bernardo Silva coming forward now. Edge of the area, looks for a shooting opportunity, checks back, waits. Núñez is also there. You felt the worst for Leeds when they conceded inside 60 seconds, but they've been resilient in this second period. Here is Doku now, who sends over a cross. Haaland's downward header didn't have the power. Diving onto it forwards was Perry, the goalkeeper. 2 apiece.
And Stroud did brilliantly there, because even though Haaland got to the ball first, as Doku on the left-hand side, chopping back on his right foot, floats a ball in, doesn't let Haaland get an easy header on the ball, and he can't generate the power.
Cardiff City will be going top of League 1. Stevenage is still drawing at Wigan. Cardiff have got a second goal. They lead Mansfield 2-0. Bradford City are still leading by a goal to nil. Bernardo Silva is the player who is going to be coming off. And let's get news of that Cardiff goal from Laura Kenyon.
It's a third, Cardiff 3, Mansfield 0. Chances are plenty for Cardiff this game and haven't been clinical by any stretch, but cruising now to all 3 points. Cian Ashford tapping home from close range to make it Cardiff 3, Mansfield 0.
Brendan Aronson is going to be coming on for Leeds United. So it's going to be another attacking change from Daniel Farke. We will try and bring you as much live reaction as we possibly can into Sports Report with Mark Chapman from 5 o'clock before our next commentary. Everton against Newcastle at 5:30. We've got just over 60 seconds of normal time remaining. Here now is Gvardiol. Out towards Doku on the left-hand side. Sends over the cross. Header! Saved! Was from Marmoush. Might have been his first touch in the game. Perry, though, away to his left. Made the save two-handed. We're going to Chesterfield now, McCorn.
Have had a man sent off. They still are leading by 2-1 here, but Finlay Monroe, who scored the opener for Swindon, has just been shown his second yellow card for a late challenge. Nervy finish here for Swindon. They still lead Chesterfield by 2-1.
Goal at Brentford now. John Southall.
It's all over now. Brentford 3, Burnley 1. Dango Ouattara on the left of the penalty area. Dinked it over the keeper, and 3 more home points for Brentford. Brentford 3, Burnley 1.
We've got 10, or we will have 10 minutes of stoppage time here at the Etihad. We could well gate crash Sports Report at this rate. But there will be 10 minutes. There'll be groans from the Leeds United supporters. It will offer fresh encouragement for Manchester City as the fourth official, Gavin Ward, is about to hoist the electronic board. And there it is, those bright red digits. 10 minutes of added time now here on 5 Live. 2-2. That's the crowd response from inside the Etihad as Doku collects it. Bogle. Those tired limbs of Leeds United players will have to try and eke out a little bit more energy to keep Manchester City at bay. Shrewsbury 3, Gillingham 3 is the latest score. You're up to date. Nunes forward. Out towards that far side. This is Foden inside the penalty area. Foden keeps his balance. Gets the shot away and scores. Phil Foden finds a way. An injury time goal to break the hearts of Leeds United. Manchester City are back in front. They lead by 3-2.
Well, sometimes football can be cruel. Leeds have been brilliant in this second half. Manchester City just haven't been at the races, but individual brilliance from Phil Foden. He always has that ability, doesn't he, to find half a yard, and he does do on the edge of the box. Little shift onto that left foot and finds the far corner. Perry, hopeless dive to his right-hand side. It's brilliant from Foden. You've got to say, on a second half showing Manchester City, they don't deserve it. Just a wonderful piece of individual skill. Left-footed, a couple of quick touches, and then just finds that far corner brilliantly. Phil Foden. 3 points is all Manchester City care about to stay in that title race.
He steadied himself, he kept his balance, he had the eye for goal, and he found it left-footed. Manchester City 3, Leeds United 2. Aronson has come on for Tanaka. Leeds United have made a change. Wrexham have got a 95th minute goal at home to Blackburn Rovers. Before today, their last 7 games, 1 drawn, 1 drawn, 1 drawn, 1, and now it could be another draw to extend the sequence to 8 for Phil Parkinson's side. As Leeds United send over a cross from the left and a strong arm from Donnarumma. I wonder where the editor of Match of the Day tonight at 10 is going to start. Sunderland 3, Bournemouth 2, Brentford 3, Burnley 1, Manchester City 3, Leeds United 2. And we've still got Everton Newcastle to come at 5:30, and then a little later Tottenham Fulham. As we now go to the Rugby Union and Molly Stevens.
Well, South Africa have set a new record for the margin of victory over Wales in Cardiff. Their fly half, who's been superb this afternoon, and Ngoma Zulu with the box 9th try. They've since scored a 10th. Something I've never seen before. The whole replacements bench, all 8 of them have come onto the pitch, and Wales have no control here. There's still 10 minutes to play. Wales 0, South Africa 68.
Commentary that is on Sports Extra. Manchester City are looking to go second. 25 points for adrift of Arsenal ahead of their trip across London tomorrow. Chelsea-Arsenal at 4:30. Commentary with John Murray and Pat Nevin. Before that, West Ham against Liverpool. At 2:05, we'll have Aston Villa Wolves on Sports Extra at the same time, and Forest Brighton will be on Sports Extra 2. So plenty of offerings of live football across the 5 Live network tomorrow. Sports Report is coming up. I can tell you that the leaders' Hearts have drawn 0-0 at Fir Park in the Scottish Premiership. They're 5 points clear of Celtic, with Celtic's trip to Edinburgh tomorrow to Easter Road. Manchester City, just when you thought that they might be frustrated, Phil Foden, his second of the game, his fifth of the season.
Yeah, you sense now the relief around the stadium. It was getting tense, wasn't it? But look, the way Leeds have played in the second half, they're really capable of creating another half chance.
Yeah, Leeds United might still be able to summon up something. We've still got 6 minutes remaining. Animated as ever is Pep Guardiola in conversation with Pep Linders. Leeds United get a free kick. It was Calvert-Lewin who was tripped, making a diagonal run just away from the left corner of the penalty area. So this is certainly an opportunity, level with the box on the left, to deliver a set piece.
Yep, real opportunity for Leeds United. Calvert-Lewin, again, he's been the game changer for Leeds. Just someone to hit, wins the free kick. It's Gruev, isn't it? Left footer.
So Gruev stands over the free kick. Manchester City have got everybody back. They've only got Phil Foden behind the white spray of the referee, Peter Banks. Everybody else is on defensive duties in a crowded penalty area. In comes the free kick from Gruev. Glancing header drops wide. Out for a goal kick. And we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. A minimum of 10 to still go.
First contact, I think, from a Leeds United player. Was it Calvert-Lewin who got the touch, or Biol? Half a chance there. Ball fizzed in from Gruev. Good left foot he's got it. It's Biol. Should be hitting the target, should be working the keeper from there.
Since losing to Tottenham, Manchester City are looking for a 6th straight win at home in the Premier League, scoring at least 2 goals for the first time since January and May 2023. Millwall 3, Southampton 2. That is the latest score in the Championship as Stones comes on for Jeremy Doku. So the England international, whose last Premier League appearance actually was the end of October against Aston Villa, comes on for defensive reinforcement.
Yeah.
That tells you everything.
It does. Pep parking the bus.
Don't forget, you can get your calls into Chris and Ali Bruce Ball, 6:06 after our next commentary of Everton Newcastle. 08085 909 693 is the usual number to call on BBC Radio 5 Live. News of that other goal at Millwall and Mark Scott.
Millwall have won it full time now. Tristan Kramer up from the back to get the ball back in from the edge of the 6-yard box, and it just about squeezed over the line. Millwall have battered Southampton and won it, courtesy of a last-minute goal from Tristan Kramer.
Coventry City 3, Charlton 1. The leaders then will still be having Middlesbrough, keeping them under a degree of pressure, because Middlesbrough leading 2-1 at home to Derby after coming from behind for the first home game for Kim Hellberg, as Leeds United send over a cross, and Leeds United with Goodmanson goes to ground far too easily inside the area, looking for a penalty kick as that ball was whipped in from the right. But again, Leeds are showing ambition that they didn't show in the first period.
Absolutely brilliant ball from Bogle there.
Meanwhile, there's a counter-attack for Manchester City through Marmoush. That's cut out by Rodon. 3 minutes remaining. Chris, I'll ask you for your closing thoughts before the game. I'm conscious that Sports Report is coming up with Mark Chapman, and time is precious.
Well, if Manchester City see this through, it's a big 3 points. Mentioned they have to hang on to Arsenal's coattails and stay on in the title race. Everybody expected it to be comfortable. It's been anything but comfortable in this second half. Leeds, I think, the way they've performed in the second half, end up losing this, but they can take a lot from this game.
There will be positives for Daniel Farke certainly to take in the manner of the second half performance going into that game at home to Chelsea on Wednesday, and then the home game against Liverpool next Saturday. You'll hear that live on 5 Live at 5:30. We've got the World Cup draw next Friday as well on BBC Radio 5 Live. So midweek Premier League action, busy day of football tomorrow, still more live football to come. That's why 5 Live is your home of live sport, as Ampadu waits to take the throw on this near side the right, trailing by 3-2. 2 minutes remain of the 10 minutes of stoppage time.
I think he'd get a hurry on, wouldn't you, with this team losing? Blimey.
In it comes now eventually from Ampadu. Long, looping into the penalty area, hasn't been dealt with. City eventually get the ball away. Picked up now by Cherki. He's got to go it alone. He'll run the ball out towards that right-hand side. He looks for some support. It comes in the shape of Nunes. Cherki now goes on ahead of Nunes, who slows it down on that far side, the right, and passes the ball back towards Foden. with all of the noise inside the Etihad. If we were to go to another reporter, I haven't heard the instruction from the studio. Gvardiol back towards Donnarumma. Sports report coming up. We've got just over 60 seconds remaining of normal time. Gvardiol hits it long. The willing runner is Marmouche. Perry chips it, keeps the ball in play and finds Rodon. Is there one last time for Leeds United to launch another attack? They search for Aronson. Gvardiol will tidy this up. Back towards Donnarumma. He passes the ball back towards Gvardiol. We're inside 60 seconds. Cambridge 2, Crewe 1. A 97th minute winner at the Abbey Stadium for Cambridge. Chris Sutton, what are your closing thoughts here?
Well, closing thoughts on Manchester City have got away with one here. Massive 3 points for them, but Leeds have pushed them all the way. They've been direct in this second half, and they'll feel they should have taken something from this game. But as I say, City see this through as a big 3 points. Doesn't matter how they win, just win.
We have under 30 seconds remaining. Don't go anywhere. We'll get you the live reaction from the tunnel here at the Etihad in Sports Report, which is probably seconds away as O'Reilly sees this one back towards Donnarumma. And Manchester City will be going second. They will close the gap. Arsenal's lead cut to 4 points. By my watch, the 10 minutes are up now. Daniel Farke watching on, hoping to see his side muster one final opportunity. Loose ball inside the centre circle, cleared away downfield. And Manchester City will get a free kick, which Guardiola is already telling them, just kick it long.
How many times have you seen Pep Guardiola give an instruction like that? Just boot in the corner. Just win the game. See it through.
And also, they are not sending the sky blue shirts forward as well. Brentford 3, Burnley 1. Sunderland, who were 2-0 down, have come to lead Bournemouth by 3-2. Commentary from Everton coming up at 5:30 as the referee gives a free kick, this time to Leeds United. By my watch, we are into the 11th minute of stoppage time. Manchester City 3, Leeds United 2.
Pep's morphed into Sam Allardyce there, hasn't he, with that type of football?
He's now saying to the fourth official, how much longer are you going to play? As Perry clears it downfield, there is the full-time whistle. Sports Report on its way, don't go anywhere, it's finished. Manchester City 3, Leeds United 2.